16 men and 16 women started this week with the hope of winning a wild card through to the Australian Open for 2016. Today, just 4 remain, 2 men and 2 women. It's going to be another big day of action here at Melbourne Park. It's the finals day of the wild card playoff for 2016. Hello and welcome wherever you're watching us around the world, and we bring you some dramatic news as we start today. We've got the men's final and the women's final. Unfortunately, though, our men's final is a walkover because Ben Mitchell was due to play the top seed James Duckworth, but as we told you yesterday, Ben having to make his way up to Brisbane. His partner's just about to give birth and the timing didn't quite match up. So James Duckworth already has a wild card today, and he'll probably be a little bit relieved because conditions today are as extreme as we saw yesterday. Over 40 degrees in Melbourne, and that's set to continue for another couple of hours here at Melbourne Park. I'm alongside Bojana Babusic, and Bojana, a bit disappointing the result today that Ben had to get on a plane, but understandable in the circumstances.
Oh, 100%, Pete. Look, that's part of being a professional athlete, trying to fit in the personal side of things. So for Ben, he's going to be back in Brisbane with his family. My understanding was that his partner went into labour last night, so we had to wait around a couple of hours to then book flights and whatnot. So look, for James, he's had a fantastic tournament, had some really good matches under his belt, and he'll be ready for 2016.
So James Duckworth gets the wild card. He'll be presented with that a little bit later on today, and we'll be catching up with him to get his thoughts on what's been a pretty productive week for him. But that means we still have some tennis coming your way, and we've got the women's final coming up. And while we're talking about players scurrying off to be with their partners about to give birth, we've got weddings this week. Arina Rodionova, who is playing in the final, the second seed, is taking on the young player in Maddison, Inglis, and she had a wedding yesterday. At 4 o'clock, she played her semi-final earlier in the day, had a win in 3 sets, a really gritty win, and now she's got to back it up and a chance at a wild card today against Maddison Inglis. How do you see this playing out? It's a bizarre situation.
It is very bizarre, Pete. But look, Arina did a great job yesterday, sort of putting aside her personal life, coming onto the court, performing quite well, coming back from a set down. But the test for her today will be how she responds to the wedding, and obviously the whole week. It was her birthday as well earlier on. So look, she's got a tough opponent against Maddison Inglis. Maddison actually played off for a wild card last week in the 18 and under national final. So she sort of knows what it feels like, and as we see on screen, hitting some balls with her coach there. But look, it's going to be an interesting matchup. Maddison plays quite an aggressive game style, likes to move forward, and Arina quite a very good retriever of the ball. So I think we're in for a long one. Yeah,
it would be interesting anyway. That coming up in around an hour and a half's time. The other dynamic, I guess, to today, we talked about the extreme heat yesterday, over 40 degrees Celsius in Melbourne. It's still very warm at the moment, but a cool change is on the way. We predict it'll come somewhere between 1 and 2 in the afternoon, and the potential to bring rain. We've had everything else this week. We might as well have that.
Well, I think that's the best thing about the tournament. It's preparation for the Australian summer, and the girls had a really good test yesterday in the extreme heat conditions, and just being out there this morning, it is very hot, but there is a bit of a breeze, and if it does get a little cooler, it might help them, keep performing throughout the final today.
Well, who do you think that'll favour? I mean, Arina's had all that emotion of the wedding yesterday, the semi-final where she got through in 3 tight sets, and as she comes up against someone in Maddie Inglis who did play that second match and was feeling it a little bit in the end, but has had a lot more time to recover.
Well, I think Arina's probably got the upper hand in terms of experience, but Maddie's hitting a very good ball, obviously been in this situation before playing off for a wild card. Arina was in the final last year, so I think they're both quite different in that Arina's got to put aside the wedding and show up today and not let that get the better of her. And Maddie, obviously another opportunity, maybe a few nerves, just being a junior and not having all that much experience.
Well, you know what that situation is like. You were here in 2012, you actually participated in this tournament and won. What do the girls be feeling? Because there's a huge prize on the line that so much opens up for the summer if you're able to get the wild card right here.
For sure, and it's playing in the main draw of a Grand Slam. I think that's every professional athlete's dream. So I think it'll just be nerves, purely just to start getting off to a good start in the first set, really establish themselves throughout the match. And look, it's putting aside the wild card and really just doing what they've been doing well all this week, and the rest will take care of itself.
All right, we'll be checking in with you as we go along in the lead up to this final. James Duckworth to join us as well, but also part of our team this week has been John Hoovenars, looking after all the social media. We want to hear from you throughout today. We want to find out where you're enjoying the coverage from around the world, and a few challenges too, John.
Good morning, Pete, Bodge. Good morning, afternoon and evening to our listeners right around the globe, wherever you are. Please join us on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram. The hashtag you need to remember is hashtag AO Playoff. Already had some correspondence come through this morning following the news that Ben Mitchell has forfeited today's men's final to be with his girlfriend Lois, who is giving birth to their first child. From Jonathan Carr, such a shame Mitchell couldn't play in the final to be with his girlfriend for the birth of the child. From Alex D, congrats on the Oz Open wildcard, James. Happy for you. You deserve it. And best wishes to Ben Mitchell. And this one from Aaron Boss. Good luck today, Maddie Inglis, in the final. What a great opportunity to play at next year's Australian Open. Bring it home. And you mentioned James Duckworth will be joining us in studio following the presentation of his Australian Open accreditation. So if you have a question for James that you would like to ask, please head to Twitter, hashtag AO Playoff, and you can pose your questions for Ducks there.
We look forward to that. Also, we've got Facebook running again today. We've had wonderful response from all around the world this week to some of the challenges that you've thrown out there.
And we've got our Day 7 edition of Caption This happening on Facebook today. So this is your opportunity to take home a double pass to the Australian Open. And today's image is this absolute perler of Novak Djokovic. It looks like something from outer space, actually, but maybe that's a little bit of a hint there. If you can give us your best caption to this photo, you might take home that double pass to the first Wednesday of competition at the AO Main Draw in January. Head to facebook.com/Australian Open to get involved.
Absolutely. We've had some wonderful responses throughout the week, and make sure you keep them coming in on this final day. Well, the news is that the men's final is not being played today, with James Duckworth getting through. Unfortunately, Ben Mitchell to be by his partner's side. A big important event in his life up in Brisbane. She's about to give birth any moment. If that happens, we'll bring you that news as well. But the women's final to come up in around an hour and a half's time, Maddison, Inglis and Arina, Rodionova. In the meantime, though, it was a cracking event in 2015, the Australian Open at Melbourne Park. Big crowds, big atmosphere, the best players. And let's go back to the men's final. It was Novak Djokovic and Andy Murray. A tight opening couple of sets. Let's pick up the action now from the beginning of the third set, and we'll be back with more shortly from Melbourne Park.
Garden Square, packed to capacity outside. People unable, for love nor money, to get a ticket into Rod Laver Arena tonight. Full house, bar the 6 or 7 people that were ejected at point in the second set because of a foolish disturbance. But it's a cool, overcast, but not unpleasant evening in Melbourne. A little bit of rain, a few light showers earlier in the day. Those people outside well used to the vagaries of Melbourne summer, and they're rugged up accordingly. In good cheer for one player or the other.
Thank you. Seats, please.
There's the cup. There's a few ounces of silver in that old mug.
Certainly are.
Third set, Djokovic to serve.
Full of some type of liquid at the conclusion of this match. Not sure if it's going to be alcohol. It might be something to help replenish what these players have lost in the match.
Third set at a set all after 2 hours and 35 minutes of play.
Love the team.
Hour and 20 minutes the second set, if I neglected to mention it. I mean, This is, I know I've used the word half a dozen times already, but this is the same level of tennis that we were seeing in the first 3 or 4 games of the first set.
Love 30.
Pretty much started in the first game, and Murray again hovering around that baseline. It's aggressive, he's taking it on, and the reaction time for Djokovic is just lessened. He can't get settled in some of these rallies.
$15.30. 15-40.
Break of serve to Murray. Djokovic took a huge swing at that and lost his feet. And I was about to say, prior to that point, he seemed a little leg weary.
New balls, please.
Between points a couple of times. I mean, it's no surprise considering the length of some of these rallies, I guess.
Here's a graphic showing the rally hit point in set 2. Up until 4-2 down, Andy Murray, you can see the hit point, most of it 68%, just behind the baseline. And then from 4-2 onwards until the rest of the second set, which he won, well, he was playing almost inside the baseline.
That's aggro, Murray.
That is, I'm playing to win, and I need to take this second set. If I'm going to win this trophy, I need to do something a little different.
Yes, with tennis at this level and the physical exertion of these two, 5 sets is almost beyond the pale. You wouldn't want to go down 2 sets to love, Murray. And it might go 5 yet. 5th ace for the Scot. Am I right? Little leg weary.
Well, it certainly looked like he was Tin Man in that particular point. Have a look at that.
He didn't move the extra half metre that he needed to make that shot.
It's hard to say if that's cramp or, I mean, he's just so off balance. Oh.
Second service ace.
Best serve.
Wide swinging serve is 6th ace. 40 love on serve, Murray. Down the tee for another one. Yeah, rubbing it into Djokovic now. 2 love Murray in the third. Well, if he's a little sapped physically, Djokovic, he'll be a little mentally sapped as well after these last 2 games.
There's Milan Armanovic. Has been working with Novak for some time. You see here that he's busy preparing some
15 love.
drinks for Nole to consume.
There, Murray, but just
30 love.
faded at the critical moment.
Yes, he reaches with enough time, but he's also trying to disguise what he wants to do. He's got the racket open. Obviously, the options are to go deep line or even cross court.
That was the conundrum for him. He was going to go cross court and then changed his mind and
40 love.
was going to try and get it, but at that time it was too late. Superb.
Yeah, Djokovic.
Love game from Djokovic, but down a break in the third set, and we're at 1 set all.
Murray leads 2-1.
How long can the two of them maintain this standard of play? We've seen Djokovic do it before, and in fact, in 2012 we saw him play the second semi-final on the Friday night and defeat Andy Murray in 5 sets, and then come out on the Sunday night and play the most extraordinary match I was going to say ever seen at the Australian Open, and it goes pretty close. 5 hours and 53 minutes to defeat Rafael Nadal in 5 sets. That was a superhuman effort.
Both had trouble standing for the presentation. The trainer for Andy Murray also
Seats 15,
Energy
please.
bars.
Thank you.
delving deep into his bag of goodies.
Drinks full of electrolytes. Kim chewing nails, is she? No, she wouldn't.
Matt Bender is sitting next to Kim, and next to
Please find the nearest
him
seat.
is
Thank you.
Matt Little, the fitness trainer. He worked in tandem with Jez Green for many a season.
Thank you, especially behind the players. Please take any seat for now. Ready for play. Thank you. Love 15.
Wasn't quite a clean hit by Djokovic, but he clubbed it, but it went in. That's all that matters. Djokovic stretching the
Love 30.
hamstrings. Just an indication of how tight the muscles are getting, all the running that these two have been doing. covering many kilometres of territory, the two of them.
$15.30.
Backhand into the net brings up breakback points for Djokovic.
15.40.
Just 126 kilometres per hour, that second serve.
Please.
Djokovic was about to challenge, but then thought the better of it and put his hands up in surrender. It was good, all right. Murray's 8th ace, but still down a break point. Oh, oh, yes, it's in. And Djokovic breaks back, and Andy skies a ball out of the stadium. Does it fall back inside? Yes, it does. Otherwise, he might have got a warning there. Two games all.
Please.
Breaks of serve so far in this match.
15 left.
Fighting tooth and nail, both of these men, for a great prize.
Pretty tough for Murray to be disappointed about. I mean, he did everything right. Used the entire court deep into the corner of Djokovic.
Just an unbeatable pass from the Serb. Disappointed.
30-15.
Turns away. It's like a chess game, this. One brilliant move countered by an equally brilliant move from the other end. Back and forth. Trying to force an error from their opponent. floats long. Still only 2 points between the two as far as overall points won in the match is concerned. 33 unforced errors for Murray in the match, 35 for Djokovic. Nothing to choose there either.
Forty-30.
Ripper forehand from Djokovic. Puts him in front for the first time in this set on serve at 3-2.
Djokovic leads 3 games to 2.
Key game. Djokovic almost walking off in a trance and certainly unsteady.
Well,
Just sitting back there, and his team on their feet, just looking at him as well. And there have been times that when he gets to this stage of, I mean, it's exhausting tennis, but he gets so, well, he starts to panic, I think. Taking on a little bit of snack food there.
Notice the concerted effort there just to deep breath and relax the tension in the neck muscles and the shoulders. Murray seemingly unperturbed.
It's a lot more comfortable. Both are very confident of their physical level. And again, that's you go through a stage of just trying to manage, knowing that you've put in the hard yards, you'll have the legs to see through a 5-set encounter.
Please take
if we even make a 5-set, it feels like that we're on the cusp of a 5-set match, but we're only in the 2.5 sets into this.
Well, we have seen some marathon 5-set matches, but regulation 5 sets, if there is such a thing, normally run out around the 3-hour 30, 3-hour 35 minute mark. We're up to 3 hours virtually here, and we're only halfway through the 3rd set. Well, not halfway through the 3rd set. Well, that's probably the shortest point in the match, apart from a service ace.
40 love.
Djokovic so far has run 3 kilometres, 3,100 metres, and Murray 3,393. Oh, updated. 3,325 for Djokovic and 3,393 for Murray. So only a few metres between the two of them, coming up on 3.5 kilometres of territory covered each. And that's not strolling along.
They're just pushing each other to an extraordinarily high level. Djokovic certainly looking like he's much more leg weary than Murray at this stage.
It's not just the distance travelled. I mean, it's the intensity of the stop-start, changes of direction from dead stop to flat-out sprint into the net, back again, side to side.
The recovery process, how quickly they're back ready.
Seventh ace for Djokovic. Not that they've been a telling factor really for either player in the match to this point anyway. 8 for Murray, 9 for Murray, 7 for Djokovic. Hello.
30-15.
He was in behind that return with alacrity, Murray.
30-on.
Hey, he's inside, just bounces in, and the recognition that it's going to be a weak reply from Djokovic.
Djokovic is challenging the call on the left near sideline. The ball was caught out.
Advice from an eagle-eyed spectator says it was a fault. And it was. Must have been sitting right on that line. Murray dictating play, sets up a break point.
(30-40). Djokovic has
Beautiful
two challenges
forehand,
remaining.
that one. That caused the trouble for Djokovic.
Please.
To the delight of Maresmo.
Extraordinary. Murray almost trampled the ball, kid.
Deuce.
Well, I wouldn't have figured at any time for Djokovic to play that volley. But it's won him the point, a vital point. Murray again looked like he was on top in that last rally. It was a break point.
Advantage Djokovic.
The return came into a nasty position. He had to shuffle up very quickly. Djokovic didn't have a lot of room at all. The attempted lob by Murray falling short.
Might be physically challenging, but mentally, these two are just strong. Djokovic holds serve, survives a break point, leads by 4 games to 3 in the third.
Djokovic leads 4 games to 3.
Now the physical effort is going to start to take a real toll from about this midpoint of the third set. It has to. We've seen Djokovic flexing the hamstrings between points several times.
This is on the break point. There was an opening down the line. He just couldn't get the racket head to move through the ball.
A runaway express train.
This change of ends, Djokovic is taking in a different type of a liquid, and electrolytes, obviously, but a different color. Perhaps something that will allow him to survive, complete this match.
Well, we expect tennis of the most...
Thank you, seats, please.
I was going to say, and I hate to say extraordinary, I've said it 12 times already, but it's almost beyond imagination. It is absolutely the peak of professional men's tennis, Grand Slam tennis, that we're seeing in this match. Stroke for stroke, a couple of these ground strokes now just missing by a fraction. Not unexpectedly. 3 hours and 5 minutes on the match clock. Two incredible tie-break sets, one apiece.
Love 30.
Well, that was an unforced, totally unforced error by Murray. Normally easy meet for his forehand. Pushed wide at love 30 now.
So unhelpful a couple of times from the lips of Andy Murray. The shot selection, very questionable.
Murray getting really down on himself.
Thank you.
Giving away 3 break points here.
Card, please.
To Djokovic.
Please. $15.40. Game, Djokovic.
Well, suddenly the pressure taking a toll on Andy Murray, the double fault
Djokovic
to give the
leads
break
5 games to 3.
to Djokovic, 5 games to 3. Slamming the racket down in frustration.
Thank you.
Slamming it flat on the ground, not on the frame, not on the edge of the frame. Djokovic knows better than anyone the importance of this service game. Credit to Murray.
Love 15.
Taking the risk and keeping the ball incredibly deep.
He's kind of rechanneled himself after he's had that little vent of rage. Well, maybe not rage, just of anger.
I think rage is a good word. Rage against himself.
Yeah.
Murray's turn to miss.
15 all.
Well, better serving for Djokovic now. Starting to brighten up. Not when he's landing the first serve. It's a very strong win rate. If he can get it in.
(30-15).
Again, Djokovic flexing the left leg. Murray 3.5 meters back behind the baseline. Steps in.
Murray is challenging the call on the right far sideline.
Yeah, it's a fair challenge
Ball's
here.
lovely.
He's got a chance of success.
You have a feeling this is wide?
I've got a feeling it is,
Yeah,
but I think it's worth a challenge.
Yeah, I think it might have just missed.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh, no.
just good.
40-15. Murray has 2 challenges remaining. Please.
That's what he thinks of Hawkeye. Set to Djokovic. 2 sets to 1 lead.
6 games to 3.
Boris looks stunned.
Djokovic leads by 2 sets to 1.
Set certainly resolved itself quickly in favour of Djokovic. 39 minutes. And that's a measure, I think, of the physical toll that the match has taken on both players. The first 2 sets were just a knockdown, drag-out brawl.
But the winners and unforced errors for Murray perhaps give us an idea that he was controlling the early parts of that 3rd set, playing catch-up at the end.
Awful first serve percentage for Djokovic, but extraordinary success on the first serve. Solid second serve. And there were just 2 or 3 vital winners that Djokovic hit to turn the set round. That was one of them.
For the first time that we've seen Wilco is one of the players been able to create some distance. Breaking serve and consolidating that break.
Well, coming back from the early breakdown,
Yep.
Djokovic in that third set. Oh, he can still afford to smile. Surprised he's got the energy to smile. But despite the occasional outbursts of anger at his own shortcomings, his own mistakes, he's a great sport. Both of these guys, great sports, great friends, great rivals.
Seats, please. Thank you.
And this is a real gladiatorial contest.
Fourth set. Murray
As it should be in a Grand Slam final. No quarter asked or given. Certainly not through the first two sets. Djokovic establishing some real authority in that second set. Murray serves first in the fourth. Djokovic jogs up and indicates that the ball was out, but doesn't challenge. It wasn't out.
On.
Not sure what he's pointing at, but whether it's back across court, he missed by going up the line, trying to change the direction. He's just got to get rid of this negativity that has built up. They've been playing at such a high level. Let's hope that there's not just a real collapse. Certainly from Murray's end, he's got to deal with the fact that 2 sets to 1 down. He's got to play 2 more.
On.
2 more sets. He's got to start dealing with that fact. That's probably going to be between an hour to possibly 2 hours more of tennis.
Well, if it goes to 5, 5th set advantage, it's going to be a good 2 hours, I'd say.
.30-40.
Flush on the line.
Please.
Break of serve at the start of the 4th set in favour of Novak Djokovic. A telling blow
First game,
against Andy Murray.
New balls, please.
The 12th break of serve in this Grand Slam final. I think Djokovic had his serve broken 5 times for the entire tournament prior to this final. And I can't recall the last time that there were ever this many service breaks in a Grand Slam men's singles final. I'm sure there have been, but I don't recall off the top of my head. .147 people in 16 countries now reaching for the record book.
Love 15. Net. First serve.
Djokovic putting the ball right at the feet of the incoming Murray.
I mean, that's a great return, and Djokovic's shot is too good. Certainly Murray's putting this block. Just placing, creating those seeds of doubt, reactions when he's losing points that he feels he should be winning. The errors certainly have come quicker in rally mode.
That is extraordinary again.
40-15.
Inch perfect painting the line with the off forehand Djokovic.
This is the one.
You can see Murray, how much ground now he's surrendering. Trying to recover from the returner serve.
Don't ask me. Djokovic.
Sneaks over the net.
Just out.
Just perfect.
Right, please.
Djokovic was fully stretched there. That was a chance for Murray. But Djokovic holds and leads 2-love in the fourth.
Djokovic leads 2-love.
So the mountain just got a lot steeper for Andy Murray. Beaten here in 3 finals, once by Roger Federer, twice by Djokovic.
Please. Thank you. Love 15.
Game slowing down at both ends of the court between points. Not surprisingly.
15-all.
The battle's been a stupendous one. Physically, Murray could stay out there. He
Please.
just have now a feeling 2-1 and the break, the mental battle. Balance in favor of Djokovic.
It's twice now, the last 2 points. Murray's leant on his racket like a walking stick
15-30.
into the point. Double break looming against Murray here.
15-40.
The quickness, just being able to maybe get up to that particular forehand just a tad earlier helps clear the net. It's just coming up short, so his margins are a lot lower. More errors coming from Murray's end.
Djokovic, 2-1 and 2 breaks up in the fourth, has got control of this Grand Slam final.
Djokovic leads 3-1.
Well, the exertions of the last 3 hours and 25 minutes taking their toll now on Andy Murray. Djokovic, the one who's had 2 or 3 occasions where he stumbled, fell, jarred his hand, jarred his knee, stubbed the toe of his shoe and jarred his foot and ankle, flexed his hamstring several times between points. But it's amazing what that break of serve in the fourth and what a double break in the fourth will do for your physical and mental condition.
The second break of paramount importance for Novak Djokovic. Murray still peering down, perhaps trying to reactivate his mind to the notes. We saw that he came out to play his semi-final against Thomas Berdych. Just having a little look at the notes again. But a second break is that insurance for Novak Djokovic. If there's any hope for Murray, he has to respond right now.
Thank you. Seats, please. Please. Thank you.
Djokovic, 2 breaks up, looking at an 8th Grand Slam title and a 5th here in Australia. Seems inconceivable that a champion of his caliber could give up 2 service breaks in a 4th set with this much at stake. A win would put him in equal 8th place as far as overall Grand Slam title holders is concerned. Others to have won 8 Grand Slams: Andre Agassi, Jimmy Connors, Ivan Lendl, Fred Perry,
Please.
Ken Rosewell. Bill Tilden, back to the late 20s and through the 30s, won 10. Bjorn Borg, Rod Laver won 11 Grand Slams each. Roy Emerson 12, including his 6 Australian titles. Tightening up.
Deuce.
You can see how deep Murray is, and Novak throws this in to try and test out the movement, which was very limited with Murray on the baseline. He's accelerated nicely forward. The drop shot. Yes.
Please. Advantage, Djokovic.
Pinned that one into Murray's backhand corner. Game point, Djokovic. 2nd place on the all-time Grand Slam winners list is shared 14 apiece by Rafael Nadal, Pete Sampras and Roger Federer. Of course, is at the top of the tree with 17. And again, powerful forehand into the corner. 4 games to love for Djokovic. Do or die time for Andy Murray.
Djokovic leads 4 games to love.
Well, he's brave, the Scot. We know that from past experience. He's going to need to call on all of his reserves, physical and mental, to try and claw his way back into this set and the match. Oh, Djokovic is hitting out now with renewed reserves of energy himself, mental and physical, as though the match has just started.
Yeah, the gap is starting to widen. Murray,
Please.
maybe 10% drop off. Even more, and Djokovic can smell the finishing line ahead.
And the spread between the two in terms of points won,
Love 30.
there was only about 2 or 3 points between them at the end of the 3rd set. is now 15 in favour of Djokovic. 130 points won for him, 115 for Murray. Tide has turned to riptide in Djokovic's favour.
That's first serve. $15-30.
Looking for a third break, Djokovic.
15-40.
Now the weight of shot of Andy Murray has just lost a bit of speed. Yep, and it's allowing Djokovic, he's sighting it early. Sending it back with a bit more vigour.
Murray is challenging the call on the left baseline.
Good challenge.
The ball was caught.
I reckon this is out.
Well, if it's not, he's losing the point and goes down. Love 5.
Oh no, it's in. Really?
Djokovic.
5 love it is to Djokovic in the 4th set. 3 breaks of serve. And Murray,
Djokovic leads
dejected,
5 games to love.
slumps in the chair.
Murray has 2 challenges.
Because he'd rather crawl if he's to lose the match, which now seems self-evident. Murray would sooner crawl over broken glass than give up the final set 6 love. He may not have any choice in it because it'll be Djokovic to serve for the match and for the championship. Anticipating the result, a Djokovic fan. And Djokovic strong mind, strong heart. There might be a little bit of pretense in the outward physical appearance, but that he'll maintain until the last ball is hit. Murray sitting there shaking his head. Already into the post-mortem, Murray. Where did it go wrong after
Seats quickly, please. Thank you.
2 such brilliant sets of tennis to square the match at 1-1. Up the early break in the 3rd set. Had a break point to level at 4-4 in the 3rd. And then was broken by Djokovic. Lost the set. And has lost 5 successive games since then. In fact, he has lost the last 8 games in succession. Well, Djokovic is like the Energizer Bunny. After seeming to flag
15
earlier in the match, and that's being harsh because they've played this at 110%, both of them. He's now on his toes, on the front foot. That's a better effort from Murray.
15
a glimpse of what he displayed through the first 3 sets of the match.
$30-15.
Potentially just 2 points from the championship.
Please.
Championship points for Novak Djokovic in what's been a dramatic turnaround in this match of
40-15.
sublime quality.
Right, please. Thank you.
A match of true championship qualities
Please.
from Novak Djokovic.
Please. Right, please.
Djokovic won't serve till they shut up. Narrow call on the southern baseline. Accepted by Djokovic. Still
40-30.
championship point.
Reprieve for
Right,
Murray.
please, ladies and gentlemen, please. Right, please.
Djokovic swings again.
3 sets to 1. 7-6, 6-7, 6-3, 6 love.
He is the 2015 Australian Men's Singles Champion. He is the one. He is Novak Djokovic.
Djokovic flings the racket into the stands. Murray pounds his racket into the plexipave court surface. Congratulated by Boris Becker and the rest of his team, Novak Djokovic wins a 5th Australian Open championship, an 8th Grand Slam title. He is in elite company. That was fought so closely and at such a high standard through the first 3 sets. The first 2 in particular, a centrepiece in tie breaks before Djokovic was able to establish some authority in the 3rd set after breaking back, getting the early break back from Andy Murray. And from the midpoint on of that 3rd set, after Murray failed to get the breakback point in the 8th game of the 3rd, there was perhaps mental, physical surrender, not willingly, on the part of Andy Murray, and Djokovic has rolled through 9 straight games from 3-all in the 2nd set. He won the next 3 to close that set out 6-3, and then 6-love in the 4th and final set. That's what champions are made of. Andy Murray left Mark Woodford to lament and hopefully look forward to another chance, another day.
Well, it was like 2 boxers. They came out firing, taking swings at each other, and they were damaging, inflicting some pain, and it looked like it was going to go for the maximum period of time in the ring, and unfortunately it was Andy Murray that lost that battle. Some heavy blows by Djokovic in that 3rd set. And in the end, it was really a knockout blow in that 5th set. Murray just unable to mentally stay with Djokovic. The physical side started to fall apart after the mental battle had been won by Djokovic. An amazingly high standard again. They keep pushing each other further and further. Perhaps not the length that everyone was aspiring for. But, gee, they played some phenomenal tennis. The racket, that lucky person in the crowd. The man in the blue hood. Certainly a cherished memory there.
Final, looking forward to more great action in 2016. Let's go straight to the presentations now for the men's wildcard, the 2016 Australian Open wildcard playoff. Francis Sawyer is our tournament director and master of ceremonies.
Ben Mitchell, his partner has gone into labour overnight, and obviously he's flying back to Brisbane to see the birth of his first child. So we wish him congratulations and a safe birth for him and Lois of their newborn. But James Duckworth has been awarded the tournament. Congratulations to James. Everyone put their hands together for James, and a main draw wildcard into Australian Open 2016. Congratulations, James. And we've got Beck here to hand you your accreditation pass for January. So, well done. You can put that around your neck, and it obviously feels a bit of a relief to get that main draw berth into Melbourne Park.
Yeah, it's not the way I wanted to win. It would have been good to play Ben and sort of win properly. But yeah, it's the way it goes. I'm really excited to play at the Australian Open again. It's going to be my 5th time, I think, playing main draw. So the crowds here is always great, and I really enjoy it. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, you must be happy with the way you played this week, though, to get through the final, and there must be some tough few weeks of training coming up as well, getting ready for the main draw.
Yeah, I managed to get through a couple of tough matches, especially the semi-final against Marinko, who I hadn't beaten before. So yeah, I think I'm playing some pretty good tennis, and I'll go back to Brisbane and train for the next couple of weeks, and then get ready to start the year up in Brisbane again.
All right, James, thanks very much. Congratulations once again. We've got a little present from Australian Open supporters here, Jolie, to present you as well. So enjoy that pack, and good luck at the Australian Open in January. Thanks very much.
So the presentation's complete there, and as you mentioned, we're going to be hearing from James in the studio in just a few moments, but not the way he wanted to win. Ben Mitchell is on his way to Brisbane. His partner's just about to give birth, so it was a touch-and-go sort of thing there, but it means James gets through, and really, Bojana Babusik, as you join us back in the commentary position, it was a really hard-fought week for James. Didn't have it all his own way, but did enough to get through, and probably in the end deserved that wild card with his ranking sitting at 120 in the year he's had.
Yeah, James had a solid week. Obviously, he just said a little bit, not the way that he wanted to finish the tournament, but look, he's a true athlete. He's played at the Australian Open. He's going in for his 5th time, but he's been there before, and you know, he beat some top players, Marinko Montosovic, in the semi-final, which was a very tough match for him to get through. So look, I know it's probably not the way that he wanted to end it, but that's the situation, and I'm sure he'll reflect on this tournament and get ready for this upcoming summer.
I should point out too that this is one of the wild cards that's presented. There are a number of discretionary wild cards that Tennis Australia and the Australian Open organisers will have a look at over the next couple of weeks in the lead up to the Australian Open. So still opportunity for the other 15 players in the main draw here to push their case to get a wild card into Australian Open 2016. But we'll be hearing from him soon. John will also open up the opportunity to ask some questions of our guest when he arrives in the studio in about 5 minutes' time.
Yes, certainly you can join the conversation on Twitter and ask James Duckworth all your questions that you have. He'll be joining us very shortly. Hashtag AO Playoff is the way to do that on Twitter, and also bring up to date with the conversation that's been happening. Casey Delacqua sending her congratulations to James Duckworth there for his winning of the wild card. James has written back, thanks Casey, hope to see you back on the court again soon. We know she's still nursing that concussion from earlier in the year and won't be taking part in the Hopman Cup or the remainder of the Australian Summer of Tennis. But hashtag AO Playoff to ask your questions to James Duckworth. He'll be with us here in studio in just a few minutes' time. And also don't forget that our daily Facebook competition is happening. Caption this, Day 7, and you can win a double ground pass to the Australian Open by sending us a caption to this image of Novak Djokovic during the final that we just saw on our coverage, the men's final from 2015 Australian Open.
Okay, so while James Duckworth is getting his picture taken, in the meantime, while that men's final replay was on, the temperature in Melbourne has dropped considerably. We were around 38, 39 degrees an hour or so ago, but John, that temperature is dropping all the time.
Down to 33 now, and you can actually feel it in the air. The barometric pressure dropping, and looks like we've got some rain clouds overhead. So hopefully we get a fair bit of play in before that starts to threaten the day's play.
Yep, so we were at around the 40 degree mark. There have been fires around the Victoria region, but things cooling down here at Melbourne Park, and hopefully we won't get any rain whatsoever. In the meantime, as James makes his way off, he won't be too far away from joining us in the commentary position. We get ourselves ready for the women's final. That's not too far away. Maddison, Inglis and Arina, Rodionova, and Bodge have been getting a bit of intel on the wedding and the events last night to see how Arina's been feeling. We're chatting with her coach, Louise Plemming, a little bit earlier, and saying that she's a lot more relaxed today than what she was yesterday, and that's understandable.
Yeah, it certainly is. Pete and I asked Louise the question, as a coach, what do you tell your player? Obviously, she had the wedding yesterday, and she just said, look, she just has to enjoy the night, and it's up to her how she approaches it. But, you know, she did get home probably about 4 a.m, but slept until 10, so she's got that good 7 hours sleep, 6-7 hours sleep in her, and you know whether those emotions have settled in and she can now focus on her match. So, but it'll be interesting to see how she comes out and responds in the first few games of the first set.
It's be a hell of a wedding present. Oh. What a hell of a weekend. It's been bizarre, hasn't it, the situation as it's arisen here, that the wedding one day and then chance in a big final the other.
Well, I mean, this wildcard playoff really has had it all. It's had birthdays, it's had weddings, it's had babies. So it's just a tough time of the year, and professional athletes have to fit it around their scheduling and their personal life. But look, it'll be a fantastic contest. Both girls are in some really good form, had some tough matches, and I think it'll be a little bit easier today with the conditions cooling down.
Yeah, absolutely. And good to see the whole family's here. Ty was here, he'll be in the crowd, and Anastasia's here as well too. We had a chance to look at Maddie Inglis practicing at the top of our coverage today. Maybe if you had a chance to quickly have a chat with her and get a sense of how she's feeling heading into this.
I just said good luck to Maddie and her coach today, and her mum Linda as well. And Maddie said thanks. I think she's obviously got a fair few nerves to deal with, but I think the good thing for her is that last week she was in the 18 under finals, playing off for a wild card as well. So she's familiar with that feeling, but she's coming up against a tough opponent. So like I said, crucial times early on in the first set just to establish herself.
Well, joining us is someone quite happy to be through to the main draw again at Australian Open, this time in 2016. James Duckworth, congratulations, but as you said there in your speech, not the way you wanted to get through today.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, it's never enjoyable winning through a walkover, but yeah, it's the way it is. It was pretty unfortunate for Ben, the timing of everything, but yeah, look, like you said, I'm excited to play again, and looking forward to getting out here, come January.
Take us through the week, because you didn't have it all your own way. It was a hell of a semi-final against Marenko, and really tough conditions there. How do you feel you've progressed as this week has gone on?
I feel like each match probably gotten a little bit better. I've improved on certain things each match. I'm pretty happy with the way I played, especially in that semi-final. And yeah, like I'm really looking forward to trying to build on that for the rest of the summer.
And what does the next few weeks look like leading up to the Australian Summer in 2016?
I'm going back home to Sydney this week to practice. Practice a little bit with Matt Reid, Jordan Thompson, and Leighton will be there as well. And then we'll be back up in Brizzy on Boxing Day, getting ready for the Brisbane International. Be playing up there the first week, and then the second week I haven't decided yet. There's a Challenger in Canberra, or I could possibly play the one in Sydney as well, and then
Take us through your year, because we seem to catch up at this time every year during the wild card playoff, and you've made big strides in your career of late. When you look back on it now that you've got the chance to reflect, how have you assessed it?
I sort of assessed it in two parts really. I feel like the first 5-6 months I was playing really well, and I was having some pretty good results. Got inside the top 100, and then just before French Open in Nice, I injured my back, and it was sort of hampered me for a while. I missed all the grass court season except for Wimbledon, where I had a few injections just to play, and then I struggled quite a bit physically through to the US Open. So it was a tough sort of period where I was just sort of trying to play through this back niggle, which was giving me a bit of grief. But the last few months I've been healthy. Haven't played as well as I would have liked. The confidence has been down a little bit, but after a few wins this week, I'm pretty happy with the way I'm going, and I think I can build back to getting inside that top 100.
We've talked about your journey over the years as well, and the hard yards. When you broke inside the top 100 for the first time, what was the overriding emotion for you, knowing how hard you've had to work to get to that stage?
Yeah, I mean, at first it was a lot of relief. Really, I put a lot of pressure on myself. So it was in Indian Wells where I did it. Yeah, I had to qualify, and I knew I had to qualify and win a round. The qualifying matches were pretty average. I was struggling just thinking about the numbers a lot, and once I got through, I played some good tennis, and I was just really relieved and just sort of felt a lot freer after that.
You're currently sitting at 120 on the ranking scale. What do you think you need to do to break back inside that top 100? Because it's only a few spots, but it's pretty hard to do, isn't it? Yeah,
I mean, I think this week I've been playing pretty well. I think if I can sort of continue to play aggressive sort of style of play that I've been working on and trying to improve over the last few years, if I can continue to get better at that, and just tidy up a couple of things. First serve percentage, a little bit of stuff on transition. I think I'll be right up there again.
The certainty that you have now that you can plan your schedule without having to worry about qualifying, or will you be in the mix for the discretionary wild cards? How much of a burden is lifted from your shoulders knowing that you've got that wild card around your neck now? Yeah, it's great to know, to be able to plan. What you're going to do training wise and which tournaments you're going to play. So yeah, it's massive, and hopefully I can get the best possible preparation for Aussie Open. You mentioned that you're going to be in Sydney training, and Leighton's going to be there as well. He's the new Davis Cup captain. You're sort of keeping in sweet with him, and maybe if things go well next year, might be a chance at a berth.
I mean, playing Davis Cup is something obviously I've dreamed of, and what most players dream of. I'm gonna do my best to put myself in a position where I'm a chance to get picked, but. It's great having Leighton as Davis Cup captain. He's done a lot for me over the last few years. We practiced a lot together. He's watched a lot of my matches. He's given me tactics and pointers here and there. So it'll be great to have him in the corner.
And how will you handle the training load? It's less than 2 weeks now before the season gets underway. You've obviously played in this event this week. Is it a heavy training load, or do you back it off now in preparation for Brisbane in a couple of weeks' time?
This next week will still be fairly heavy. Yeah, I'll still be doing quite a few hours on the court. A little stuff in the gym, a bit of running as well, and then the closer I get to Brizzy, I'll sort of lighten it down a little bit, and try and get as fresh as possible for main draw there.
Have you had any calls from the mates looking for tickets to the Australian Open? I know that there's a big supporter base that follows you when you travel around during the Australian summer.
Yeah, no, not yet. I mean, it's
if you want to, he's here now. He'll be out of here soon. So
I haven't had any requests yet, but I love the support I get in Australia. It's awesome, especially here at the Aussie Open when the fanatics get behind. It's great. They have some unreal chants, and I think they're the best crowd in the world.
So now that you are injury-free, you're feeling good, how do you set up your schedule, knowing that you've had that taste of being inside the top 100, you've got the ability to be there? How do you set out the calendar now, knowing that you might have to balance a few challenges in there as well?
Right now, just I've obviously got the summer, and then after that, I've probably looking to go to America, playing a little mix of challenges and ATP events. There's an ATP event in Memphis and Delray Beach, and a couple of challenges outside of that. That'll be my first tournaments after Aussie Open, and I'll just see how the summer goes and how I go through there to see where I go from next.
Absolutely. Well, it's been a wonderful achievement to get through. Obviously, as you said, not the way you wanted to win it today. Via walkover with Ben off there, but hopefully we get some good news. Does he know whether it's going to be a boy or a girl?
Yeah, it's going to be a girl.
All right, so there you go, exclusive. We've just told you on there. You just revealed it. Now that's going to be a girl.
Yeah.
Hopefully we get that news coming through a little bit later today. Best of luck for the summer. You made some great strides in your career, James. Best of luck with 2016.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
James Duckworth joining us here at the Wild Card Playoff. Our final coming up shortly. There's Arina Rodionova. She's ready to go and won't be too far away. Maddison, Inglis already out there on court. So the women's singles final to come here live from Melbourne Park. Final, the Open 2016 Wildcard Playoff here on Court 6 at Melbourne Park, the home of the Australian Open. And it features the second seed, Arina Rodionova, who's had more than just tennis to contend with this weekend. She's also gotten married yesterday afternoon. And now she's here playing off for the ultimate wedding present, a spot in the Australian Open in 2016. She takes on a young gun, Maddison Inglis, who played in the finals of the under-18 event last week and reached the final there but couldn't break through. Can she do it today? She's had a wonderful week and we're looking forward to taking on a more experienced opponents. Hello, wherever you're watching us around the world. Overcast conditions, things cooling down at Melbourne after we had that extreme heat over the past couple of days, and looking forward to what will be an intriguing final. Peter Mercado alongside Bojana Babusic, and Bodge, it's an interesting final. It's been a wide open women's draw, and we've got two players who have certainly earned the right to be in this final today.
They certainly have, Pete, and both ladies are in quite some form, had some tough matches, have dealt with some really tough conditions as well, but quite an unpredictable draw with lots of seeds bowing out in the first round. But these ladies have definitely earned their spot in this final, and quite different in terms of Maddie being a junior, Arina very experienced on the women's tour, so it'll be a real test. But like I said, both ladies hitting a very good ball and looking forward to how it all pans out.
Well, they're getting the better of the conditions now. It was really hot to start off with in Melbourne today. We had 40 plus degree temperatures yesterday. Things cooling down now. We might even get some rain a little bit later on. Just shows that we just can get everything here in Melbourne.
Well, that's the thing about playing tennis. You never know what you're going to get. And for these ladies, they know what it takes to prepare. And sometimes there is a rain delay or a heat rule come into play. But look, they both got through yesterday, which was very, very hot. And so hopefully they've recovered and are all ready to go for today.
You won this event back in 2012, and you obviously know this player, Maddison Inglis, quite well. Take us through how she'd be feeling right now.
Oh, there'd be no doubt that she'd be dealing with a lot of nerves. But I think for her, the crucial thing is just to get off to a good start and really make a lot of balls and see how Arina responds, obviously, after a wedding and a big day yesterday. But, the good thing that Maddie has is last week she played in the 18 under final and was in contention for a wild card. So she definitely would have had nerves last week. And so probably a bit more comfortable with the feelings and the emotions that she'd be dealing with now. But like I said, the key is for a good start.
We've had her in our commentary box during the week, and she's talked about how aggressive she's been, particularly the forehand drive volley was an example that she used. She'll need to be that aggressive again, really assert her authority early on in the match. Yeah, the big thing for Maddie is belief and the confidence. And I know she has the confidence, but it's a new stage. She's playing for a wild card, and like you said, Pete, she will get a lot of different balls and she'll have to execute really well today because Arina is quite a crafty player. She does throw in a lot of slices and drop shots, and she can lift the ball up high and has a big swing on the forehand. So you never really know what you're going to get from the racket of Rodionova. So Maddie will just have to be prepared and really keep her footwork going. And from Arina's point of view, we were chatting to her coach, Louise Plemming, just before the start of play today, and she's a lot more relaxed than what she was yesterday. There was a lot of emotion. It was a tough three-setter in hot conditions. Here's the rain. It's just arrived, just on cue, as the players were getting ready to complete their warm-up to get this match underway. So there'll be a delay here, but looking a lot more relaxed and feeling a lot more relaxed without the stress of a wedding ceremony to get to and a tough three-setter standing in the way.
Yeah, the key was to get through the day yesterday, whether she won or lost, and obviously she would have dealt with it accordingly depending on the match. And I think now, like you said, Pete, she can relax. She's just got this one more match to play, and I think she'll drive off some adrenaline and some exciting feelings.
So after the heats, now comes the rain. John Huvenars is looking at the weather radar. Welcome, John.
Thanks, Pete. Yeah, just as we were about to get started, the rain came, which was, I guess, what we were anticipating throughout the morning. There is live pictures of the rain radar, thick rain band just coming from the northwest, and Melbourne is right in the thick of that heavier rain with the yellow and red colour.
Having said that, though, once this rain band clears, it looks okay just behind it. So this might be the rain that we get for the day, hopefully, and then we'll be able to get this match started. Considering that we would have taken water yesterday, wouldn't have minded that at all. But now, that's what can happen. Variable conditions in Melbourne for the final, and just delaying there here. I think pretty sure Maddison will actually want to get on with this match and just get into it and try and settle those nerves a bit.
Well, she would have had a good 24 hours to think about this match and to prepare. So I think, she'd be ready to get going, and it's just another little slight delay. But with the conditions, it's still quite warm out there, so when the rain does stop, the court will dry up fairly quickly. Yeah,
that's the good news. It's still 33 Celsius at the moment. So, look, we've got a short rain delay here at Melbourne Park, and we're just had chance now. Actually, it gives us a good chance, John, to talk about social media and what's happening on social media. We want your input throughout today. Rain, hail, or shine.
Well, you can get in touch in a number of ways: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, hashtag AO Playoff right across those three social media platforms. On Facebook, we are running our Caption This competition. It's our marquee competition that we've been running each day of the playoff tournament, and it's your last chance to win a double grand pass to the Australian Open. What you need to do is come up with a caption to this photo of 5-time Australian Open champion Novak Djokovic, and put that in the comment section on the right-hand side, like those people have done, Love Deep and Daniela and so forth, and we'll be choosing the most creative or most witty at the end of the day's play, and that person will take home a double grand pass to the first Wednesday of competition. Over on Twitter, the Australian Open Facebook page here, we are welcoming your conversation right throughout the afternoon, whether it's something about the match or a comment on James Duckworth and the situation that unfolded with Ben Mitchell forfeiting today. And of course, our hashtag wars continue today. Tennis versus food is the theme of the day. We're bringing it back by popular demand. Tweet us a tennis-themed food dish that you would like to see served up at the AO, and we'll have a bit of fun with that. Like Rajiv has done. He's been very busy. Platon Chewett, John Mac and Cheesero, a drop shot and a beer, forehand, which plenty of scope for you to get involved there. It's all happening on Twitter. Hashtag AO Playoff to join the hashtag wars.
The rain easing slightly here at Melbourne Park, and that's going to be good news. We'll get this court tidied up pretty quickly once this rain stops. But who do you think it's going to favour the rain delay? We haven't actually started the match yet. Did it make any difference, the players?
Oh, well, probably not. They were all ready to go by 12:30. It's probably just another small delay, maybe just a time to maybe touch with the coaches, whether it changes the conditions and whatnot. But look, they'll be ready to go, whether it, hail, rain or shine.
So, that rain band coming through just at the worst possible time, but the cooler conditions are there too. I'm sure, Maddie, a lot of preparation for this match, a lot of recovery after yesterday. She would have spent a lot of time underneath Rod Laver Arena getting prepared for this match. She would have
made the most of the ice baths, the massage, stretching, food prep, hydration is a big one as well. So, Maddie's been in this situation before. She's had a really big 2 weeks. So if anything, recovery and preparation would be the most important thing for her.
So we've got plenty to look forward to. More coming in on social media, John.
Yeah, question from Shane, who's been with us right throughout the week's coverage. He's got a question: why wasn't the women's match started at 10 a.m? They knew the rain was coming and the men's match got cancelled early. That is true. The men's match was officially cancelled at around about 11 o'clock. But we had the official word yesterday that this women's final would not start before 12:30 to give the girls ample time to recover properly from yesterday.
Which was important.
Yeah, very important. And, you know, they played in some extreme conditions yesterday. So, you know, the more recovery, the better. So I think that's why.
Lynn's and also Arina Rodionova having her wedding yesterday.
Just to throw that in as well.
Lynn getting ready to watch live streaming of the Rodionova Inglis final. She's on the Arina Vickery bandwagon. That is a new surname, I would imagine.
Yes. Well, we haven't asked whether she's actually taking the surname or not.
Arina Vickery. I reckon that'd be good.
Got a nice ring to it, doesn't it?
And from Jonathan Carr, at least my man James Duckworth wins a wild card into the Australian Open via walkover. Although, as we heard, Ducks was pretty low about the fact that he couldn't play.
That's understandable too. He's a fierce competitor, but he'll be there in 2016. Well, let's take a look back while we've got the opportunity at Australian Open 2015. Earlier we had the men's final. Time now to take a look at the women's final, and it was the top 2 seeds playing, Serena Williams and Maria Sharapova.
Well, folks, what a beautiful evening it is as we welcome you to Rod Laver Arena for the match of the tournament, the final of the women's singles here. And the crowd moving in expectations of a super match with the number 1 and 2 players in the world competing against one another. Serena Williams, the number 1 player in the world, will remain there. It doesn't matter if she loses to the number 2 seed, Maria Sharapova. They've played on numerous occasions, and they both are very intense competitors and want this Grand Slam title. The crowd all getting ready in anticipation for this. They got the face painting, and you can see where their thoughts lie. And they just had one with Serena. Unbelievable face painting jobs there. There's the beautiful bouquets that the little kids will present to the finalists. And with me, Karen Pratt. Karen, this is an exciting one to look forward to.
Oh, it really is, Fred, and so much looking forward to seeing what they can bring to the court tonight. Finals night, such an exciting time. First Grand Slam of the year. And these are 2 of the most ferocious competitors in the game who'll be stepping out here.
Running a little bit behind time. They're getting ready for this, and probably a few nerves in the locker room in preparation, because throughout the championships, both of these young ladies, before they come on centre stage, sort of hold their opponents up. They sort of keep them waiting a little bit here, so possibly a little bit of gamesmanship going on here, but you know, who knows?
Well, that's right, and it also depends on how they both are. The other day when Serena was playing Gabinier Muguruza, she apparently coughed so much she threw up and had to go back to the change rooms before she could come out.
Well, that's the trophy they're playing for, the Daphne Ackhurst trophy here, but that is the big question. Serena has practiced yesterday, was unable to do it in the morning and had to go back to the hotel, came back out again in the afternoon, said it was a lot better, she's feeling fine, but a lot rests on that, because if she's not feeling too well, Maria Sharapova is going to take it to her. There's going to be first strike hitting here off returns of serve, and if Serena's serving well, that powerful serve, I think, will take her through. If not, the power of this young lady off the ground may do the job. That's the walk down the hall past all the past champions, and what a thrill that is. You can hear the squeaking of the sneakers as they get ready for action. That's a rather long walk, KP.
It's a terrific part of the build-up.
History is now. That was the sign behind there, and it's just about ready to get going. Wayne McEwen,
ladies and gentlemen,
is the referee.
The women's singles finals of the Australian Open Championship of 2015. From Russia, please welcome to centre court, Maria Sharapova. And her opponent from the United States of America, Serena Williams.
And a very nice touch there as both ladies are handed a beautiful bouquet of flowers as they make their entrance onto centre stage here at Rod Laver Arena.
Well, they didn't acknowledge each other at all throughout that long walk, nor when they were waiting for their entrance here into the stadium. They've got their game faces on big time.
The roof is open. Weather conditions there, 18 degrees Celsius, cloudy conditions, but basically perfect for evening tennis. The night to decide the Australian Open champion here for 2015.
They looked like a couple of prize fighters just before they were introduced to the Rod Laver Arena crowd. Maria swaying from side to side, really ready to go here in this huge match that Sharapova is hoping can turn things around in terms of her rivalry with Serena Williams.
What a great moment behind Jessica Halo from Canberra in Queensland.
This is Jessica.
That's Jessica Halo, who's a participant in Australia's Super 10s program, and what a thrill for her. She'll be tossing the coin for the women's singles final tonight. What a cute little face, and happy as she is. She's going to do a 12 for us. She's going to do a Sharapova. There you go.
She's practicing for when she makes it out here. A lot of our good young players, 10 and unders, have been lucky enough to be out there tossing the coin for some of the champions of today. Hopefully they'll be the champions of tomorrow.
This is Jessica. She's going to be doing the coin toss.
She goes to Ferny Hills State School.
I'll find out what's happening. Yeah, I'll find out what's happening. So same conditions in the previous match. Just remind you that we have electronic review. So any questions? Serena, that's close. Okay. It's tails, Maria. You'll serve. Okay. You just need to take some photos with Jessica and then with you two, both sides.
A very nice photo. Look at the sweet smile on that end there. And the grim faces of both participants. Not a smile between them with the two finalists. And the little lass in the middle, look, she is cute as a button.
Oh, she's making up for it in the smile department. Her smile a mile wide, and these two, nothing there, grim-faced, as you say, Fred. Ready to do battle, very much so. Totally ignoring each other, ready to face off.
And little Jessica was age 10, and she's in the Lifetime Tennis Club in Ambiwara, the Fern Hills State School. So a lovely stage for her.
And Serena just checking before they went out. There seems to be just a little bit of rain falling. Hopefully nothing too much.
Maria Sharapova lives in Florida, Bradenton. Last year prize money just shy of $6 million. One Roland Garros for the second time. Beijing, Madrid, Stuttgart, semi-finals, all those events there. Fourth round of the US Open, Wimbledon, and the Australian Open. So fourth round of 3 of the Grand Slams and one in the fourth. Best result here, she was the champion in 2008. Would like to do that again this evening. Fourth round last year.
Serena Williams has now won 64
and she takes us how the road to the championship here.
Down
a match point at Panova, and 4-1 in the second in that set, came back and won it.
She was the Roland Garros champion in 2002 and 2013.
Emily Bouchard
champion 2002, 2003,
also there.
2009, 2010,
and she destroyed Emily Bouchard, Eugenie Bouchard, I'm sorry. Eugenie Bouchard, seated number 7 here, had to defend those semi-final points from last year. This is the lady that will remain number 1, even if she loses this title tonight.
Well, what a year she had last year again. She had a tour leading 7 titles, but she thought it wasn't such a great year because she lost fourth round and earlier at 3 of the 4 Grand Slams. So by her standards, her lofty standards, it was a patchy year. But still, 7 titles, including the US Open and the WTA Championship. She is number 1. Has been there for 101 consecutive weeks. First got their way back in 2002. And there is a list of achievements last year. The US Open, her 18th Grand Slam title, bringing her level with Chris Evert and Martina Navratilova in the overall tally of titles won, Grand Slam titles. She's a 5-time champion here, but she hasn't won since 2010 after having a year out of the sport with illness and injury. So this is the one she wants to get on her resume tonight.
They've played 18 times. That's the road to the championship round here. Maddison Keys stretched her in that semi-final, a youngster from the United States who Serena in her interview said, well, she's going to come back here and win this Australian title at some stage. But she's on track, but she's played against Sharapova 18 times and has a 16-2 lead. The last time Maria was victorious was a decade ago, and that was the WTA finals in 2004. And that same year was the year that Sharapova was 17 and she won Wimbledon by beating Serena in the finals there.
Well, it is quite an incredible record between these players. It's been such a long time that they've had to face each other, but Serena with the upper hand definitely. This is their 19th meeting, and for Maria it's nothing to lose, as Serena kindly said.
Serena said, yeah, I just love playing against her. I like to be out there against her. I just have a ball. So that was a little thing just to say, well, I'm pretty confident going in here. And quite frankly, this is going to be a match. If Serena is feeling well and serves well, she must go down as the winner. If she's not, and she's not feeling too healthy and has that bit of a cold and doesn't serve well, then it's the power. It's going to be first strike, as we mentioned. It's the power from Sharapova on the return of serve that will put Serena at risk.
Yeah,
Williams a better athlete, though.
I agree, Fred. Look, Serena at her best, I think, does everything just a little better than Maria at her best. And the question is, can Maria play above herself out here, perhaps spurred on by that record and very motivated to try and turn it around? And also the other question, of course, just how under par Serena is. We know that she's really struggled with her health this week with an illness. But of course, she's not going to say too much about that, but we could tell by her voice what was going on. Problem with Maria is that I think Serena sharpens her
every
resolve.
time they play.
Yeah, it's like she sees Maria down the other end of the court and she's even more determined, which is really quite scary.
I can tell you from experience, when you're down that many matches, though, and you're 16-2 down, and things are pretty tight when you lose the first set, it gets to be a long, long way home when you know that you've lost that many matches. And so very important, the first set of this one, particularly for Sharapova.
Well, definitely, she needs to start well.
3 sets, first tiebreak, final set.
And as you said, Fred, it will be first strike tennis. Not expecting super long points out here.
That was interesting then. Sharapova raced over there to try and just have a crack at a return of serve from Serena. Serena let go with the first serve and Maria raced over there to hit a return. Serena's coaching consultant. And he has been for the last 18 months, has an academy over in France. Does a little bit of television commentary when he's not watching Serena. He's in the booth just next to us here with some of the French commentators.
A lot of intensity in this rivalry, and certainly a lot made of it over the years, with a few jibes pre-Wimbledon 2013. Serena used to date Maria's boyfriend, Grigor Dimitrov, who isn't there. That is Sven Groneveld, the coach. But Serena, in a newspaper article, came out and said that Grigor described him as having a black heart, which really set Maria off. So she struck back, saying Serena should take a look at her own romantic situations and relationships. But they smooth things out, on the surface at least, but I think the rivalry seethes just below it.
Well, Williams leads 4-1 in Grand Slams, and 3 of the Grand Slam meetings being in the finals. And in the final, she leads 2-1. This is their second meeting in the final at Melbourne Park. Williams won here in 2007. And Sharapova won the title here in 2008, next year. Sharapova's 27 years of age. Serena Williams, 33. Still very, very fit, very athletic, and probably, as we mentioned, the movement around the court you'd have to give to Williams. Determination, well, that's a toss-up. Both of them unbelievable competitors, and they don't back off when they're in trouble. They hit their way out of trouble.
First set.
It's Sharapova to serve first.
Maria Sharapova to serve.
Australian Open
Ready.
Women's Singles Final just about ready to get underway.
Love 15.
That shot there worked brilliantly for Williams against Keys. That returner serve straight back down the line.
Love 13.
Sharapova, the taller of the two, 6'2", 1.88 m. Williams at 5'9", 1.75 meters.
All. Let's. First service.
She attempted it again.
40-30.
Out in front of it that time. 40-30. Sharapova down love 30 in this opening service game. Has fought her way back. Not many players out there that quick that they can get around the outside of the ball and take that back cross court for a winner.
Anything you can do, I can do better. That is incredible athleticism from Serena. Looking very sharp on that one.
Williams has challenged the ball on the left centre serve. The ball's called in.
First challenge of the evening. I think Serena says, yeah, it's good. But she's already challenged, so she'll lose that challenge.
Advantage, Sharapova.
Ball does leave a bit of a mark on the court, so she could see that it had taken the line.
A bit of a cough there from Williams. we say first strike?
Yeah, there's one of them on a 160 serve.
Ms. Williams has 2 challenges remaining.
Just so aggressive with these returns. Has missed a couple, but that one right in the hitting zone, into the forehand.
Well, they've played one another that many times. That serve, we know, comes to the forehand, and Serena is, as they say, they've played one another that many times. They pretty much know what's happening. They read the serve motions from both of them. But it's a little bit easier to read Sharapova's than Williams.
Oh, good body serve from Sharapova, but then she was a little over anxious to put that next shot away. Said before this match that often in their previous encounters, the aggressiveness of Serena makes her go for a little bit too much and to be over aggressive herself.
Break point, opening game. And a double fault. So the first game of the women's final goes to the #1 player in the world, the #1 seed, Serena Williams. 1-love.
Or just the power and quality of a couple of those returns, really putting the doubts in Maria's mind right from the start here. Stony-faced as they walked out, beautiful bouquets of flowers, but they're not smelling the roses out here tonight. They are here to fight, to play, to compete.
Williams, as she always does in the matches after the first game, walks around the opposite side of the net to the chair umpire. She's done that for years. That is the Daphne Ackhurst Trophy they're playing for, along with $3.1 million to the winner.
15-love.
Both pretty nice, really.
Yeah.
Lovely piece of silverware named after a great Australian champion of the 1920s. Had good serving stats throughout the tournament. Serena with 70 aces, 61% of first serves in.
Exactly what you were saying, KP. She overplays those in the early stages because she knows that if she gets it short, that Williams is going to take control of the rally. So she wants to stay in control, and then sometimes those errors creep in. Well, that was a great return. Williams looking for the short ball, and there's a bit of a cough there from Williams. So maybe the cold is still persistent.
Well, it's a great serve at 190. Sharapova got onto it.
That's just the telling margins, just that little bit of extra power into the corners.
40-30.
Sharapova doesn't move as well as Williams.
Just fabulous depth, setting up that short ball.
Thrives on the pace, Williams. She says she enjoys playing Sharapova, absorbing the pace. Pace has fun out there, so it's fun at the moment. 2 games to love, she leads.
Just incredible hitting from Williams here. Great ball striking. Patrick likes it.
Serena's the oldest Australian Open women's finalist in the Open era. That distinction was previously held by Chris Evert. This is a must-win serve for Sharapova.
30 love.
That's the wide serve that she uses so well. She comes around the outside of the ball on most of her serves.
40
She
love.
can get it right out there. It's a good delivery. 40 love now.
Great angle to see the curve on that ball.
Sharapova with that big forehand gets on the board. It's Williams with a break, 2-1 first set.
Williams leads 2 games to 1 first set.
Well, that was just what Maria needed, a very convincing hold of serve and really asserting herself out here.
Good start. There were nerves a little bit in the opening, and that double fault didn't help anything. That was just a gift for the first service break.
Love to see your pictures here on Arina. Use the hashtag.
Some good serving there. Really not allowing Serena to do too much with the returns. As you said at the outset, Fred, the serve from both women will be key. Two of the great champions.
2 of the great strikers of the ball. When they've got it right, they hit it so beautifully, so clean. With the preparation there, the racket's back before the ball bounces. Eye on the ball, good shoulder rotation. Then what shows the torso just goes all the way through, out towards the target, up around the top of the shoulders.
Time.
Beautifully struck. Come on, and she's on the board.
Seats quickly, please. Thank you.
First opportunity for the patrons to sit down, the spectators, after 3 games. 2014 US Open, Serena Williams received $4 million prize money paycheck. That included the Emirates Airline Open Series bonus. Biggest payout.
They're up a break in the early stage of that opening set. We bring you back to live pitches at Melbourne Park, Court 6. We've had a rain delay with temperatures cooling down somewhat. Still quite warm out there, which meant we could get the court tidied up very, very quickly. And we won't be too far away from seeing the players, Maddison, Inglis and Arina Rodionova, the players going off during their warm-up. So they'll come out and have another warm-up. And we'll try again, Boyana. Frustration, I guess, for the players because they've done all the preparation to get out on the court and get themselves ready, and then they had to go back into the locker room for about half an hour.
Oh, that's true, Pete, but they've done it before. They've played tournament week after week with plenty of rain delays, so they'll know how to approach this, and maybe just a final minute or a final word with the coaches and maybe a little bit of extra rest for Arina Rodionova.
As Maddison gets herself ready, she'll be back out on court shortly. The weather situation, John, how's it looking out there?
So that sort of medium-sized rain band that came across about 45 minutes ago, half an hour ago, has now passed over Melbourne. There is a thicker rain band coming from the southeast, but I think we're going to avoid that. That seems to be passing south of Melbourne on the trajectory it is. So hopefully no more significant rain delays throughout the afternoon.
Yep, so hopefully we'll get this match through, and then it can rain as long as it likes, to be honest. Earlier today, if you are just joining us here on our coverage, James Duckworth taking out the men's wild card, Ben Mitchell racing to Brisbane to be by his partner's side, who's about to give birth any minute now, so hopefully he gets there in time, and unfortunately meant that he couldn't play in the final today. So James Duckworth with a wild card into the main draw, and we'll await the result here to see who'll take out the women's wild card. Of course, wild cards are handed out all over the place. It's a reciprocal arrangement with the United States. So they've played a series to work out who's going to get the USTA wild cards. The Asia Pacific region also gets an opportunity to play off for a wild card. That was held in Shenzhen over a week ago. And two great players. Yoshihito Nishioka on the men's side is a player to watch. So if you're looking at coming along in January to look at some of the best matches, see where he's playing and see who he draws, because he'll be an interesting one. And Han Chun-Yun winning on the women's side, who's a quality player, a WTA level player, and might give her opponents a little bit of a run for their money early on if she gets a good draw.
And especially when, they don't know a lot about the player and how tough it is to come up against someone that, you don't really know a lot about. So, look, just like the wildcard playoff here in Australia, fantastic opportunity for players to get a lot of matches under their belt, gain that little bit of extra confidence and feel like they've really earned their way into the Australian Open.
So with Maddie just sitting courtside, just having to wait patiently there, just adding to the nerves that she'd no doubt be feeling right now. We're just awaiting Arina to make her way back from the locker room, and we'll get this warm-up underway. Best of 3 sets, advantage sets to simulate Australian Open conditions. So the players here will know that they've earned their wild card. John, what's happening on social media?
The tweets are coming through. Hashtag AO Playoff to get involved. Shane Jones from earlier, we answered the question about why this women's final wasn't brought forward. Thanks, live stream, for explaining. Fingers crossed the rain clears quickly. Well,
Job done.
Rain has now cleared. Rahman Azema saying go away rain. We've cleaned that one up too. And this question from Andrea, not Petkovic. Can I watch live streaming from YouTube, or do I have to live in Australia? No, you can watch anywhere in the world except the United States, which might be your situation, Andrea. You can watch then live and exclusive on Tennis Channel Plus. So if you're in the United States and you're having problems with our YouTube live stream, head to Tennis Channel Plus.
As Arina makes her way back out onto the court. The warm-up balls will come back out again, and we'll take 2 on this this final. Been an interesting week. We talked about the women's draw, Boyana, with the fact that it was wide open. Livia Rogovska, the top seed, 276 in the world, and there were all those opportunities for the younger players who had played the week before to come through, and it came to pass. We had carnage in the opening round with most of the seeds actually falling.
Well, there were 2 seeds that were the only ones that prevailed through to the next round, but a lot of juniors in the draw. A lot of them played in the 18 under nationals. I think it was six girls, and fair few of them kept developing through this main draw of the wildcard. So, look, Maddie was one of them, and she had a great run last week in the 18 under nationals and has been able to carry that momentum forward into this week. So she's familiar with the feelings and the emotions that carries on with playing for a wild card. So, look, she'll be raring to go, I think, today.
I suspect that we'll have the full 5-minute warm-up, as the players have been off for more than 15 minutes. And just waiting on the ball kids to arrive back too. They were a little bit late coming back from lunch. So the umpire, Emma Walter, just explaining what's going to happen from here. and will do it all again. And Arina Rodionova, we've talked about her week, but her year has been an interesting one. Not getting the results on the singles court, but certainly getting it done on the doubles court. The top 60 doubles player now, but would love a chance to just give that ranking a bit of a kickstart in 2016.
Well, I caught up with Arina at the US Open, and obviously a very good doubles player, currently sitting at 57, has played a lot of doubles with her sister Anastasia, but she said, look, I'm still young and I can still afford to play lots of singles, but at the time she was carrying a little bit of a knee injury, but you know, she's back healthy and wants to keep playing singles, so I'm sure she'll align that with her doubles and you know, hopefully build on her career high of 157.
Whereas for Maddison, just continuing her good run, as mentioned last week, the Under-18s championship that was held here at Melbourne Park, she reached the final, falling to Priscilla Hon, who ended up getting a wild card into the main draw of the Australian Open as well. So chance at another opportunity here to grab that wild card. And certainly the experience of last week, I think, will help her today as well. Well,
sure, and she's played at the playoff on a couple of occasions, played Casey Delacroix a couple of years ago. She lost to, you know, Nagtha Baines last year in the playoff. So she's been here. This is her third occasion. And I think it just, you know, with that little bit of extra experience, it definitely puts her in good stead. But, you know, just finished year 12 and now is making a transition from the juniors to seniors. Played on the, you know, junior Grand Slam level a few times this year. So, you know, she's working her way up through the ranks.
Now she's also hit the milestone birthday. She's celebrating that, I think, during the week as well.
She is. She turns 18 in January. So I think she mentioned that she was having a birthday party in the next couple of days back home.
Yeah, well, I think
so
they're
there's a lot
planning to have it
going
on Sunday today, but I don't think that's going to be happening somehow.
No, but so there's a lot going on. Birthdays, both Maddison and Arina, weddings, babies. It's all happening.
Well, speaking of babies, let's keep the WA connection going, John.
Yeah, there's a nice little segue opportunity here because not only is Ben Mitchell welcoming a little youngling into the world, but Casey Delacroix has announced this morning on Twitter. I truly have all I could have wished for this Christmas, but we do have a little more on the way. And on Instagram, she and partner Amanda have made news that they are expecting a second child. Bubba number 2 arriving in May of next year. Excited to meet our next bundle of joy.
Excellent news. It's great to hear. Yep, and we wish Casey a speedy recovery back from the concussion and missing the Australian summer, but let's hope she gets back out on the court soon. We also have our Facebook competition as well. We should give that a mention before we get stuck into this match.
Absolutely. Head over to facebook.com/Australian Open and you can get involved in our Caption This competition. It's day 7. It's the 7th and final opportunity to win yourself a double ground pass to the first Wednesday of competition of the Australian Open. And all you have to do is submit a creative caption to this image of Novak Djokovic from this year's Oz Open men's final. And the best one, deemed by our esteemed panel, will take home that double pass at the end of today's play, which hopefully will be sometime this afternoon.
There is Ty Vickery in your screen. The newly married Ty Vickery. Wearing the hat. He was here for practice a little bit earlier today. Married yesterday. Here supporting his wife today. Certainly we were talking before the rain delay, Bodge, about the fact that Arina is a lot more relaxed. We heard from Louise Plemming, her coach, suggesting that it was very wound up yesterday. It was out of sorts, and she played as if she was out of sorts, managed to get through, and now it's a free swing.
Well, I think, you know, the thing that stands out from yesterday is you can't plan those sorts of things. So for Arina, really just had to, one, get through a match and then deal with it as it came, and she got through it, played a tough 3-set match in some really tough conditions, and then obviously went off and you know, celebrated her wedding with her new husband. And you know, now she can come out today. That's behind her, and she just has one more match to play. Just whether, you know, recovery and preparation is so important, and it's probably in favour of her that the conditions have slightly cooled down as well.
Overcast conditions. The temperature has been dropping throughout the morning here in Melbourne. We started off very hot, sort of around 37, 38 Celsius. that has been dropping. The humidity not so bad at the moment. We'll get an update on the weather in just a moment, but the temperature will start to continue to cool down. We were expecting 39 before the change. That's happened. And we'll get a full weather update in just a moment. No idea what's actually happening out there, but the overcast conditions most helpful. I think the players will be appreciate the fact there's a little bit of shade out there.
Inglis won the toss and chose to receive.
So there you go, Emma Walter, our chair umpire. So Maddie just wanting to get into the match, take a bit of time to settle in, choosing to receive first.
Time.
I've said this earlier on in the day, it's really important for both players these first few games just to work their way into their points and really see how each of them will respond.
Yeah, we'll get a good indication of how particularly Maddie's feeling in this opening 2-3 games.
So just really important to get the footwork going, because when you're nervous and you've got, things to think about, the first thing that can go missing is that footwork. So both girls have to really keep their feet in, moving in position and balanced.
So while we quickly got the opportunity, let's just check that weather at the moment, because the temperature started off about 36, 37. It was a hot night in Melbourne. Now it's cooling down.
Yeah, it's dropped down to 30 degrees, and the humidity is still quite high at 35%. Not much wind either, and hopefully we avoid that thick rain band that's passing across the south of the state at the moment.
So here we go. A take two. The women's singles final. The Australian Open 2016 wildcard playoff. It'll be Arina Rodionova to get us underway.
$15 love.
Good crowd in too. Free entry to Melbourne Park across this week. Wonderful sort of entree to a big summer of tennis coming up.
$30 love.
And the best of possible starts.
I think we'll see a lot of that today. Maddie trying to run around her forehand and really dictate play. She will get a lot of mid-court balls, so execution really is key for her.
Also, the fact that she's been so aggressive to get to this stage, she'll need to replicate that again.
$30 all.
Great deep return
30,
from
40.
Inglis on that last return.
And 4 points in a row for Inglis. She's on the ball with a break of serve.
First game.
I think Rodionova, those first 2 points, just effortless. And then Inglis got her game going.
Great returning from Maddie after those first 2 points as well. Didn't go for too much, really just using that middle and the depth that she can get on her shots. And Rodionova has quite big swings on both sides, so when it is coming in hard and fast, sometimes she can find it hard to get it back.
She'll be preparing to serve now.
Maddison Inglis to serve.
First time in the match.
Love 15.
One of the things that got Rodionova back into her match yesterday against Storm Sanders was just changing up the pace of the ball. She threw in a couple of drop shots, forehand slice. Just had something a little bit different for Storm as the match wore on. I think we'll see a bit of that here. Particularly also with that doubles experience, getting into the net where possible.
Oh. 15 all. Fault.
Good get from Rodionova
15,
on that
13.
forehand out wide. Both ladies quite good retrievers of the ball. So each one will expect an extra ball back each time.
Held the ground nicely, Rodionova, instead of playing the volley.
15
just
and 14.
electing to let it bounce. And now break points for the second seed.
Game, Rodionova.
And does. One game all in the opening set.
One game all.
Rodionova just standing in some shade there.
Such an emotional match yesterday. We saw the emotions flowing straight after the match. A little more calm today.
Oh. 15 low.
Just had that sense yesterday that she was on edge for most of the time. She wasn't really settled. By her admission, she didn't play her best tennis. She was in constant conversation with the umpire.
All.
And that just set up nicely for Inglis. Always going to put that ball away.
Well, good early signs from Inglis because she really is going for her shots. She's not holding back. She's staying up on that baseline and really trying to take the most of every short ball.
A few more supporters in the crowd for Arina today because the bridal party are here, friends and family. Everyone's come down to watch. We saw husband Ty in the crowd before, but Sister Anastasia's here. First for the match.
And that could be a test for Rodionova because second serve's probably one of the things that Inglis can capitalise on, and as we saw in the last point on the ad side, Maddie not afraid to step in and put those returns away.
Oh! 40-13.
Can't underestimate the importance of holding your serve in a big final. The nerves around, just to really get into the match. And that's the way to do it. Rodionova holds serve. It's 2-1 in the opening sets.
Rodionova leads by 2-1.
Don't forget, you can join us on Twitter right throughout our coverage of this women's final. The hashtag is AO Playoff. Let us know where you're watching from right around the world. Perhaps you're backing either Arina or Maddie to win this match. It's all happening on Twitter. Hashtag AO Playoff. And some congratulations to Ben Mitchell, who's flown to Brisbane for the birth of his child and unfortunately had to forfeit from his men's final this morning.
That's just Sam Maxwell. He's the play manager of Casey Delacroix, Matt Ebden, John Peers, Olivia Rogowska. Nice to see him tuning in.
Time.
So a mixture of sunshine and overcast conditions. It's stormy weather here in Melbourne today as the temperature cools down. Rodionova holding serve. So Inglis serving at 1-2 in the opening set.
Love 15.
First big test coming up for Inglis in this service game.
Oh! 15 all. Let first serve.
Pressure that Rodionova's able to put on that second serve, and in a previous service game Inglis missed 4 first serves in a row, so it just gives Rodionova that opportunity to really step into that second ball.
I think the first serve for both ladies is crucial today in terms of starting and establishing themselves.
Let second serve.
Well done.
30 all.
Got to be careful, Rodionova, with throwing in that drop shot from that position in the court, because it will sit up.
Especially off a first serve.
But there's an example of the variety that we'll see from Rodionova across this match.
Game, Inglis.
First ace for Maddie in the match, and she levels things up at 2
2
games
games
all
all.
in the opening set.
Just an
15
example
love.
of how a point can be set up from a good first serve. And Rodionova really liking to run around her forehand.
Thirty long.
Also a lot more aggressive early on today, Rodionova.
She is.
Found her range nicely, flattening out the ball. Nicely done. Short backswing, moving forward to the ball, up the line.
30-15.
That's impressive.
All.
You were saying about second serves?
Well, both ladies just at this stage, their first serve percentage really isn't as high as it needs to be. And the key to holding really is to be able to put in a few more first serves.
Out. 40-13.
Slightly overplaying, but again the intent right. Really had the opportunity to play that forehand drive volley, which she's been so aggressive with in her previous matches in the tournament.
We can just see where the positioning of both ladies is at the moment. Maddie really likes to stand on that baseline, and these last few points has been dictating a lot. Just gets really good depth.
Advantage. Rodionova.
Her first ace for the match.
Nice change up out wide.
Yeah, had good success with that late in a match with Storm Sanders yesterday.
Cheers. Advantage, Rodionova. Game, Rodionova.
Good finish, aggressive play from Rodionova. She holds at 3-2 in the opening sets.
Rodionova leads by 3 games to 2.
Some keen viewers watching on our YouTube live stream, or perhaps in the United States on Tennis Channel Plus, live and exclusive to the USA. Roman has tweeted in. He missed the beginning, but he's back on now. Come on, Maddie. He's on the Inglis train. And on the flip side of the coin, Zoe Rose says, let's go Arina Rodionova. Some fellow called Michael Teixeira, I think it is, has also tweeted in saying, hi guys, what court is Roger practicing on today? Thanks.
I think he's in his, actually would be on, where's the IPTL at the moment?
India?
Singapore? Dubai?
Somewhere
Either that or he's at one of his homes.
Yes.
He's court 1 at one of his homes.
His backyard court.
Yep.
I hope that's been of help, Michael. Sorry if you're here at Melbourne Park wondering about looking for him, but give it a couple of weeks.
Time.
Use the hashtag AO Playoff if you want to get in touch with us throughout the day. Even start in the women's final, the Australian Open 2016 wildcard playoff. Maddison Inglis to serve at 2-3 in the opening set.
Let first serve. Left second serve. Low 15.
The intent is right, just overplaying, trapping that ball. It's important to get the timing right, that forehand.
$15 all.
Second ace.
$30-15.
Oh, good depth from Maddie. Just landing on the baseline. Arina having to hit an overhead from way back in the court.
She wasn't even in the shot, the camera shot. She was that far back to the fence.
$40-15.
Something that Storm Sanders did to Rodionova with great effect yesterday. That flat ball up the middle of the court is taking the time away from Rodionova.
Game Inglis.
And Inglis holds. We continue on serve in the opening set.
Three
It's 3 games all. Both players have settled nicely into the match. Brilliant. Great job from Inglis.
Low 15.
She did so well to change direction and wrong foot Rodionova. And really this whole week, her ability to stay low, her knees almost touching the ground on those last 2 shots, as you said, Pete, really has settled nicely into this match.
Let first serve.
Oh no.
15 all.
She's had great success with that shot throughout the week, just not quite getting it right there.
Set up beautifully though off that return. That second serve just sitting up for the Inglis forehand.
Feature
15,
for Inglis
13.
in the last couple of games, that angle that she's been able to generate. Full stretch 2, again taken out wide. Yeah, smart play from Rodionova.
30 all.
Really has good hands and has that ability to slice, but also disguise that drop shot. Good use of the lob as well.
Oh, that big forehand coming into play again.
30, 40.
That's just taking the ball early. It's moving forward. Right in the contact zone. Break point. And there it is.
New balls, please.
Inglis getting the break of serve. It's 4-3 in the opening sets.
Inglis leads by 4 games to 3.
Some more discussion coming through regarding Ben Mitchell's decision to withdraw from this morning's men's final in order to be with his girlfriend who gave birth to their first child this morning. Did Duckworth say it was a girl or a boy?
Girl.
Said a girl. This from Andrew off Twitter. Have to respect Ben Mitchell's decision. A match away from wildcard into Oz Open. Birth of child far more important. And from Yamila Gaidasova. I'm sorry Ben couldn't play the final, but congratulations on a baby and wish you all the best.
Look forward to seeing Yaka playing at the Hopman Cup in January and setting up for another big summer.
There is the distinct possibility that Ben Mitchell is still awarded a wildcard into the main draw.
Of course. That's an opportunity,
I think there are still 3 available for Tennis Australia to award.
Time.
And the whole key this week, Pete, is it's not a break unless you hold. So challenge now for Matt Inglis, the first time she's been in the lead of this match so far. Sometimes the hardest thing to do is play with the lead and close out a set.
New balls.
New tennis balls, though, will help. Serving at 4-3 in the opening set.
15 low.
First serve percentage has also picked up.
Third ace.
30 love.
And what Arina will find challenging today is Inglis getting a lot of balls back as well. So she'll be challenged in that area.
Fault. Love.
Well, Rodionova just needs to get a few more of these returns into play. She's getting a good opportunity, a good look, particularly on that forehand. As you mentioned, that serving trend continuing for Inglis. Good depth on the serve.
Game Inglis.
Another ace, 2 in the game. Consolidates the break. It's 5 games to 3
Inglis leads
in the
by
opening
5
set.
games to 3.
Good start for the West Australian.
Love. All.
Now the talking to herself kicks in, and that takes something out of yesterday's match where she was well beaten in the opening set, managed to turn it around.
30-15.
She also know that her opponent down the other end hasn't been in this situation before, so will no doubt get a little bit nervous.
Much better serving from Rodionova in these last 2 points. And that's what she wants. She wants that mid-court ball off the forehand because she hit such a good inside-out shot there.
Game.
And hold serve. So Maddison Inglis now will come out and serve for the opening set at 5
Inglis
games to
leads
4.
by 5 games to 4.
Join us on Twitter if you haven't already and you're watching our coverage on YouTube or the Tennis Channel Plus in the USA. Pete Tweet has sent us a message. He's watching the AO playoff. Was hoping to see Mrs. Vickery on his screen, but not yet. Congrats to the bride and groom anyway. Yeah, I'm not sure if she's changing her name officially. We're still yet to find out.
I think we might have to find that out in the presentation.
Yeah, that's true. I would imagine that she's probably a fairly traditional person in that regard, and I think you'll find that she might take on Vickery. But who knows? There's a professional name. She might keep Rodionova. From Mark McGowan, comment on this match. I love how early Maddison Inglis is taking the ball on her forehand, but that second serve is still asking to be punished. Watch.
Well, that's just part of development, developing and working on your strengths and weaknesses. And I know for Maddie, that serve has been something that she will continue to work on. But, we've just seen in the last service game, she just pulled out 2 big first serves. So definitely has the ability to make that a weapon.
Oh, we've seen it from both players. Rodionova's second serve has been punished a couple of times as well.
Hashtag AO Playoff if you want to have your say or ask a question. You can always get involved in our coverage right throughout the afternoon. First set, women's finals action.
And Inglis serving for it at 5 games to 4.
Let first serve. Let second serve.
Trapping the ball nicely.
15 love.
Shoulder height, taking the ball early.
$30 love.
Had some good wins along the way here in the early round. The opening round had a win over Zoe Hives. And a win over Kayla McPhee, the youngster who beat the top seed Olivia Rogowska in the opening round. And then a tough win over Natha Baines yesterday.
Out. 40 love.
For Rodionova, pretty comfortable to get to this stage. Although tough three-setter yesterday. Went the distance against Storm Sanders. Now is facing another battle. Inglis has 3 set points.
Game end.
Only needs
set,
one of them.
Inglis.
So the first set going to the youngster, Maddison Inglis. She's taken it 6 games to 4. So great set of tennis from that player, Maddison Inglis. Doesn't look nervous at all.
Not at all. She was very impressive, very, very impressive throughout this whole first set. No nerves. Footwork was still there, executed, especially off that forehand side. First serve definitely picked up in the last 2 service games where she got a lot of free points. Really making the most of this opportunity. But the test for her now is not just to play one good set, it's to play a good 2 sets or 3 sets, depending upon how far this match goes. And for Arina, I think she needs to pick up her first serve percentage and maybe start getting that ball a little bit deeper, because the court positioning of both players is quite different. Maddie likes to stay on the baseline and she hasn't really been pushed back a whole lot, so Arina will have to step it up and try and change up a few of her shots at this stage.
Well, I think she will. We've seen the drop shot thrown in a couple of times, but maybe a bit more slice that goes deeper into the court will help try and take an opportunity to get into the net. Just put the pressure on Inglis, because I think that will build up in herself anyway as she gets towards the finish line if she does happen to get deep into this second set and be in a winning position. So she'd have to feel like she could turn this around. And as we've seen, the theme this week has been that the players have been able to turn around these results pretty quickly.
Plenty of love for Maddie on the Twitter feed. Join us, hashtag AO Playoff, to have your say. Amber Jane Merritt is watching along with Maddie's sister, I believe, watching our gal Maddie in the AO Playoff. She says, "Get it, girl."
Second
Georgia
set,
and I sending
over
big
to
sisterly
serve.
love. Hashtag beast mode. Hashtag go Mads.
Well, let's see how we go here. But for Rodionova, serving first in the second set.
Love 15.
It's the thing that's got her through this tournament, that aggressive play that she has. And even if she misses a couple of balls here, she can't move away from it. Experienced opponent.
And that's the thing, when you do have an aggressive style, you can expect 1 or 2 errors, but not letting that affect the confidence.
15 all.
Fault!
15-13.
And you talk about pressure and the way that Maddie has been attacking that second serve, and for Arina, she knows that if she just gets that second serve in, she will be punished, and that's where a few double faults can creep in. So even if it just means 3/4ing that first serve,
15,
You're
14.
getting caught between calling fault and out in there. So break points here again for Inglis. First game of the second set.
30, 14.
So good first serve from Rodionova. Still one more break point though for Inglis.
Game, Inglis.
That's just pure power. Playing with plenty of confidence too.
First game, second
Inglis
set.
breaks in the opening game of the second set.
Other comments coming from Twitter. Chris Stevens says Maddison Inglis is certainly offensive-minded in her strategy and prepared to take the game. I hope to see plenty of her in January. And also a comment from Matt Trellope, one of our Tennis Australia journalists. He says, man, Maddie gets down low for her shots. Is she Australia's Agnieszka Radwanska?
Wow.
Is that would you say that's a distinct feature of her game, how low she gets to the shots?
For sure, and I know that's something that she's been working on, and when that ball is coming in hard and fast, all you can do is get low and shorten the swing, and for Maddie, she's been able to do that throughout the whole week, but get it back deep as well.
We asked her that a couple of days ago which player, she'd be modelling herself on. Well, I think we just got an answer. Serving with a break in the second game of the second set.
15 low.
One of the things about development for the younger players is knowing how to handle certain situations in a match, and this is a good situation to be in.
Oh. 30 low.
Commentary position is where Maddie Inglis was walking from. So we're looking straight into the commentary box at you.
To me.
I wouldn't have thought so.
Got down low on that one, but just
30, 15.
not getting around the ball enough. It's really tough to change direction when that ball's coming in hard and deep through the middle.
Yeah, because when it goes in quick, you don't necessarily have enough time to get your feet set, your body into position to be able to do that. Too good. Too powerful from the back of the court from Inglis.
40, 15.
Well, what she did well there was anticipate where Arina was going to hit her forehand when she was inside that baseline. And Maddie's not only so good off her front foot, but really when she's out of position as well.
Game points.
Let first serve.
Oh! Just again,
40,
getting over the
30.
top of that ball, not quite staying down to hit through it.
Especially off a slice that doesn't bounce up, it does stay low. So off the forehand side. Maddie really needed to get under that ball a little bit more, but still has a game point.
Game
Great
Inglis.
serving. Consolidating the break, Inglis. She leads the set
Inglis
now on
leads
2-love
by
in
2
the
games
second
to
set.
love.
This Australian Open wild card playoff earlier today, James Duckworth winning through with Ben Mitchell forced to forfeit because he's off to witness the birth of his first child up in Brisbane. So we wish him and his partner Lois all the best. He's now seen, and this place will be packed with people come the 18th of January.
Well, one thing we know about Arina is that she's a very good
15
competitor,
love.
so she will make Maddie play one extra ball. And the test for Maddie really is to play to win. Really keep going for her shots.
$30 love.
Just in the left of the screen there, the support team for Arina Rodionova. Family, friends, coaches, wedding guests.
There's that drive volley that we've been
30,
talking
15.
about that Maddie's been able to do so well this week.
And there is the team Rodionova. Tie in the middle of all of those people.
But one thing I'm noticing that Maddie tactically is doing well is attacking the Rodionova forehand side.
30 all.
Third double fault. Just heard there the FX mic. Didn't get any worse than yesterday. Oh, it's touch and go whether she was going to play that volley or not. Inglis made the right decision in the
30,
end.
40.
And another break point. It's just almost caught in two minds with that. Do wait, let it bounce, or play through the ball, the volley?
I think that shows confidence that she was willing to take it out of the air and stay up at the net.
Agree. And there again, aggressive play is paying off. And Maddison Inglis, a commanding lead in this match now. The first set 6-4 and now 3-love in the second.
Heaps of love on Twitter for Maddie Inglis as she dominates this second set. From family, friends, and even the CEO of Tennis West, Jeff Quinlan, has tweeted in. Great stuff, Maddie. All of tennis in WA. Players, staff, the board cheering you on. Up a set and now 2 breaks.
The moment you see your friend ball kidding, she's at the net.
So I think Brendan Lovett is a ball kid himself. He's been involved in the tournament throughout this week and looks like he's watching from home on the YouTube live stream. Obviously he's got plenty of friends at net and around the court. So done a great job all this week.
Oh yes.
The Woolworths ball kids and the Lions people as well.
Yep, good warm-up for them too. There's been plenty of ball kid training happening over the past couple of months to get ready for the Open.
Time.
All around Australia and around the world too. Crunch time for Arina Rodionova, the second seed. You know, as Bojana has mentioned, that she's a fighter. She won't let this go easily. If Inglis getting closer to that wild card. Up a set and 3-love.
Ah! 15-love.
But really, one of the distinguishing factors for Maddie has been the increase of that first serve percentage. Really getting a lot more free points. Not letting Rodionova attack the second serve.
Fifteen all. Oh! 15-13.
So for Rodionova, she'll want to be super aggressive. Let's send the message to Maddie. You have to come and win this. Oh, that's a great response. There's a couple of points in a row, miss a couple of first serves, and just keep going for it.
Fault. Out. 40-30.
I feel like yesterday, at this point in the match, where she's just not finding a range at all. No rhythm. Game point for Inglis to go to a 4-love lead. Oh, and gets a bit of luck going her way too. It's 4-love in the second set for Maddison Inglis. I think the crowd a little bit stunned.
They sure are. It's really quietened down. But to Maddie Inglis's credit, from the first point, she has thrived off this occasion. And there might just be a few nerves now because she is nearing toward a win. However, still a lot of tennis to be played.
Love 15.
And the frustration sitting in for Arina. They're settling nicely early stages. It's been overpowered.
Love 13.
And really, this is tremendous composure from Inglis because she's at the moment being allowed to play her game. She's executing nicely. She's not overplaying. We've seen very few unforced errors.
You talk about match confidence and
15,
building on
13.
experience. And you can't learn anything more than, or apply things more than anything in matches. And for Maddie, she played at the 18s Nationals, made the final. She's in the final this week.
30 all.
Prior to the 18s Nationals, she played in the Asia Pacific League. She's been playing a lot of the pro circuit events in Australia. So she's really built on that momentum and seems to have really gotten better each week. And the more you practice those things, the drive volleys, the big first serves in crucial situations, the more confidence it does build.
Nice poise here, taking her time between the points. Just trying to slow Rodionova
40,
down.
30.
He's getting into a groove on her serve. Going to get on the board in this second set, Arina Rodionova.
Let. First serve. Game. Rodionova.
And she is. Long way back from here, though, for Arina Rodionova. But she's on the board in the second set. Inglis leading a set and 4-1.
Heaps of discussion happening on Twitter. Hashtag AO Playoff to join the conversation. Anthony Webb's been with us all week and he's tweeted in, Maddie in fine form today. Hope her nerves hold. From ERL, Maddison Inglis has a fair bit of pop to her game. Promising future in my opinion. Rodionova has been hopelessly outclassed. And from some other family members watching, Jacinta has tweeted in, Go Maddie, Nana and Pa watching nervously from Mortlake. From Cameron, what a time to play your best tennis, Maddison Inglis, representing the Southwest at such a high level and doing so well. And a little bit of news to report from Twitter as well while we're here. Lucy Safarova has announced this on her Twitter profile. Unfortunately, due to her health complications, she's had to cancel her place at the Hopman Cup. We know she had an abdominal injury and then was battling a bacterial infection after that. So she's been replaced in the Czech Republic team by
Karolina Pliskova.
A very good player as well.
Yes, yeah, that's a fair swap actually. Go on. We've got, yeah, that's going to be a strong Czech Republic lineup. Looking forward to the Hopman Cup in the first week of January. It's not too far away now. Inglis, not too far away from this match, leading a set and 4-1.
Low.
You've been in this situation before. Describe how Maddison would be feeling about now. And you'd see the finish line in the distance.
Well, this is the test for her. It's really up to Maddie how she responds. But look, the only advice I would say is just play each point at a time. And I know we hear that a lot in tennis and in sports, but on an occasion like this, it really is just about 1 point at a time. And important to keep the feet moving as well, because I think she would be feeling a fair few nerves. And as we saw in that last point, just back behind the baseline and pulling off it. So really keep those feet moving.
That was too short. Opening here for Rodionova.
15-13.
Just the last two shots from Maddie, just catching it late off the back foot. And this whole match she's been hitting off her front foot and dictating, so just has to maintain this.
There's Team Rodionova. Tie there in the hat in the background. Great response. We've seen it throughout the week from, well, a lot of the players that have been down in games and managed to turn it around. That's just good confidence from Inglis.
Thank you. Out. 30, 40.
It's a break point for Rodionova.
Rodionova doing a good job of just keep staying in there. I feel, you know, if she gets this game, the tides might start turning a little bit. She is making Maddie play that one extra shot.
Oh, under pressure. That is clutch. Rodionova doesn't like the call. That's an excellent serve. Oh, brilliant. Brilliant control.
Advantage.
Not nervous at all.
Not on that last point at all.
I love the change up.
And that's not easy, you know, running in to hit a drive volley. So her momentum was continuously moving forward, and then another tough drive volley above her shoulder.
Well, that was the balance that she had.
Yep.
And as you were saying, the footwork was there. Game point for 5-1.
Cheers.
It's good. Not going to get any love from the umpire, not from that far away.
And that's why when there is no Hawkeye, you just have to do your best to play every ball.
This is the first time actually that we've seen any sort of anything like this from Maddie. Been pretty cool around the court.
Advantage, Rodionova.
And you just hope that line call doesn't affect her right now.
This match continuing on, we'll get an idea of what's happening weather-wise too, because the clouds have increased over Melbourne Park. I'm not liking what's coming. Great first volley. Excellent first volley.
Seriously. Far out, man. Are you kidding me? How many times? It's like 2 break points already.
I think both players realising how important this game really is.
Well, yeah, and the stakes are so high. Take a bit more time here, Arina, just to settle again. And both players feeling the tension of the moment.
Advantage, Inglis.
And when you're already down, as Arina is, it doesn't help. Game point for 5-1. Interesting here, the tactics from the players. Inglis wants to get on with it. Oh, gee. An opportunity there for Rodionova, but Inglis hangs on. She was challenged there and now 1 game away from a wild card into the Australian Open for 2016. It's 5-1 second sets.
Twitter continues to light up with conversation about this performance from Maddie Inglis on the cusp of a debut spot in the Australian Open, and Bridget Kelly says, they say Australian tennis hasn't got many girls coming through. This performance from Inglis says otherwise.
Well, still needs to finish it off though. It's the competitor who's now stung into action.
Love 15. Oh, it's 15
Now
all.
back to your experience here, Bodge. Is it now, we'll pull out the cliche again, point by point.
Point by point, Pete. And you can see that Rodionova is rattled, so just needs to take care of what she does best and not let the other distractions get the better of her.
Just let it drop a little bit too low.
30,
Quite
15.
in position for that. Like the composure though, slowing down between points.
40, 15.
Trying to just reset. That won't help her mood at all. Plenty of drama here at Melbourne Park. We might have elements coming into it. That'll be beyond the player's control. We'll find out in a moment. But Rodionova holds, and Maddison Inglis will come out and serve for a wild card into the Australian Open main draw. She leads 5-2 second sets. And I was talking about elements before, John.
I knew what
We're
you meant.
playing against the clock.
We certainly are. Here is a live radar picture of where the rainfall is coming into Melbourne. The weather coming from the west and moving into screen. Melbourne there towards the centre top of the screen. And so far, we've only had a little bit of rain. That has passed, but this now major rain band is imminently close, and probably within the next 15 minutes or so we'll have another shower. So Maddie Inglis will be keen to serve this one out. Plenty of support from Twitter. Georgia Inglis, her sister, is nervously watching. She's tweeted in saying, "So nervous I can barely watch. Come on, Maddie, so proud of you."
Time.
And Pedro Lavandowski, "Come on, Maddie, you can do it."
Well, she stands on the brink. She's serving for a spot in the Australian Open main draw. 5-2 second sets.
Oh. $15 low.
First 2 points so crucial for Maddie in this game, especially that first serve in terms of setting up the point. In the last game, even though she missed a couple of shots inside the court, still showing that she's willing to keep being aggressive.
Just 17 years of age. She'll turn 18 a couple of days before the Australian Open.
Out. 30 low.
Now 2 points away from it. Runner-up in the 18s championship last week. Priscilla Hon won that. She got a wild card in to the main draw of the Australian Open. Maddison Inglis with her chance now. Great confident play. That's what's carried her to this stage of the tournament. And she has 3 wildcard points. It's been a short performance from the youngster from WA. And a big moment right here. Not quite.
Still went for it though.
Yep, like it. The breeze picking up slightly. This rain is on the way. Still 2 wildcard points. Welcome to the big time, Maddison Inglis. The best possible Christmas presents. A wild card into the main draw of the Australian Open for 2016. What a moment for the 17-year-old. Played assured tennis. She's had a wonderful couple of weeks, and she's got that wild card into the Australian Open. A win in straight sets, 6-4, 6-2, and she can't believe it.
Oh, I'm so proud of Maddie. That was an unbelievable effort from the 17-year-old. Worked so hard over the last year and really has made herself a name this last week. And you can just see the happiness and the joy in her face, and what a moment for her. Really played an outstanding level today.
It must be a surreal minute when you just take some time to process what's just happened, Bod. You've sat in that very chair as Arina contemplates what she let slip, but Maddie Inglis just shaking her head in disbelief at what she's just achieved.
Oh, she deserves it. She's, you know, for a 17-year-old, just finished year 12, made the final at the 18th last week, was able to capitalise on it and take it one step further this week. And now I'm sure her schedule will look a lot different come January 2016.
So how does that change her schedule now that she has advanced? What are the changes that take place in the lead up to January 18th?
Well, she'll probably get a few opportunities, whether it be Brisbane, Sydney or Hobart. That's something that the selectors will have to take into account, but she can clearly play at this level and another level on top of that, and just so excited for her and just really want her to soak up the experience. Hopefully many more moments like this to come for her.
Well, certainly exciting times. That's the sort of tennis we're going to see from her over the years, and she'll only get better as time goes on. For Arina, a great week from her. It's been a busy week. There's been so much happening. She had her birthday during the week. Disappointment, obviously, with the result today, but got married just after a tough 3-setter yesterday, and now, unfortunately, not getting the result. But she got the ring on the finger. And that's one of the main things. So, plenty of love coming in for Maddison Inglis. A big moment now. She gets the wild card around her neck. Let's go courtside. There's the tournament director, Francis Sawyer, and he's getting ready for the presentation.
Thank you, everyone. Congratulations to Arina and Maddison, and welcome to the presentations for the Australian Open Women's Singles Wildcard player for 2016. How about another round of applause for Arina and Maddison? There's a lot of people to thank that have put on this year's tournament. I'd like to thank Wayne McEwen, our referee for the Australian Open. Thanks, Wayne, for all your help. All our officials, ball kids, physios, and all the staff at Tennis Australia that have put on such a great event here at the December Showdown for 2015. So thanks very much to everyone that's helped us out in putting on a great event. We won't drag this out too much longer. Obviously a great support crew here for this young lady. She had the biggest week of her life. I can only imagine what Arina has gone through this week and last night. It was a fantastic effort to come here and play the final. So congratulations once again to Arina Rodionova. Arina, I know you must feel really disappointed, but must be happy with the week, and obviously the wedding last night was, a fantastic holiday, I'm sure.
Well, yeah, it was amazing week, and I can't believe it's coming to an end for me. And Yeah, well, congrats, Maddie, for you played well today, and congratulations and good luck for January. And I would like to say thank you, Wayne, for putting my semi-final match at 9 a.m. Otherwise, I wouldn't even be here. And thank you, everyone, who made it possible. Thank you to my crew. We partied a lot yesterday, and it was the best day of my life and the best night of my life. And I mean, today I came out here and I tried to play, but I couldn't really manage, But I have pretty decent excuse since I had a wedding yesterday, and I just want to say thank you, everyone, to come up to last night and support me today. I really appreciate it. And I mean, my family, my new husband, where are you? And obviously my coaches, Lou and Cara, throughout this week. It's like, I'm crying again. I've been crying for the last 48 hours, I think, with everything. So anyway, thanks for coming, guys. Thanks for supporting us today. Good night.
Thanks, Arina. Congratulations this week, and good luck for 2016. Well, this young lady just played in the 18 and under Australian Championships last week. As most of you know, there was a wild card up for grabs there in that tournament to the winner. She lost in the final. I'm sure she was disappointed, but to come out this week, take the opportunity and now into the main draw of the Australian Open for the first time. Please congratulate Maddison Inglis from Western Australia. Well, we stood on the same court, Maddison, last Saturday to be exact, and we mentioned what this week would be another opportunity after losing the 18s final. And you must be, over the moon. I can only imagine.
Yeah, I actually can't believe it right now, but second time lucky, I guess.
What are your thoughts, just very quickly? I know you probably haven't had time to think about it, but to play in the main draw of the Australian Open and who you might come up against and what that experience will be like.
To be honest, I don't really care who I come up against. It's going to be awesome, and I can't wait.
You must have a lot of people to thank, so I'll let you do that.
First, I'd like to thank Frankie and everyone behind the desk for making this tournament possible, I guess. And I'd like to thank all the umpires, ball kids, and linesmen. And most of all, I'd like to thank my coaches over there, Andrew, mostly, Alex as well, for taking up Len's job the last few days. And Len back at home. I'm sure he's watching, so thanks, Len. And I'd like to thank Mum for coming and supporting the last few weeks. Happy birthday, Mum, for a few days ago.
Fantastic, Maddison. Congratulations. Good luck in January. It's going to be a great experience, I'm sure. So thanks, everyone. That concludes the Australian Open playoff for 2016. Thanks for your support, and we'll see you all in January.
Certainly will. Good job, Frankie. Francis Sawyer there, the tournament director, and a really happy Maddison Inglis, an emotional Arina Rodionova. As you'd expect, it's been a whirlwind this past 48 hours for her. But a worthy winner, and she'll be really happy. And the 18th birthday celebrations will just have that little bit extra in it, I think, Boyana.
Oh, it sure will, and I think Maddie's still in a little bit of shock, but the test for her, as we see Matt's cravats there.
Matt's cravats. Matt Preston.
Oh, excuse me.
That's his Twitter handle.
Oh, well, you know what
and
I
he's
mean.
not wearing one. It must be summer.
In fact, he's got a very absent gap where the cravat's supposed to be.
He was at the wedding last night. But no, Maddie, she'll walk away and, she'll have to reflect and continue to work on her strengths and her weaknesses. So, she'll be on the phone and to win her family and friends.
But she does that with the confidence that she will be playing in the main draw of the Australian Open. So that's the real positive there. She can go away and really work hard on it. As now I think it's starting to sink in. She had plenty of photos and interviews to come the next couple of hours, and then into recovery mode, and then home. Now, what's the reaction been like on social media?
We've been absolutely inundated with responses of support and congratulations to Maddie. Let's whip through a few of these on Twitter from Ryan. What a week it's been for Maddie Inglis, deserving winner. of the playoff wildcard into first Grand Slam of the year. Great Christmas present from Francois, who's been with us all week. Huge congrats to Maddie. Very well done and deserved. Boyana, you're getting involved, but you can say that in words. Roman, thank you for a great week. Thanks to the full team as well, including Brett. Yes, Maddison Inglis from Cameron wins the AO playoff after losing the under-18 champs. Such a great match. Get to see another player, WA player, at the Oz Open. From Shane, that was an impressive win. Her composure in the big points was incredible. She is a star of the future. And from Chris Stevens, a win. Maddison Inglis played very well today and totally deserved the wild card to the Australian Open.
So there she is, very happy. Quick word on the tournament overall as we see Sister Anastasia giving Arina a big hug. She got very emotional there. Emotional yesterday too. As I say, it'll take a while for the emotions to settle there, but look at how happy she is. Let's talk about the tournament overall just briefly before we wrap up here. It's been a really interesting tournament on both the men's and women's side. It wasn't clear-cut. I didn't think we necessarily had a clear-cut favourite going into both events.
No, but we had some, talented display of some of our juniors coming through. Brad Mousley was a standout for me on the men's side when he took out Jordan Thompson. Obviously, Maddie Inglis, Naki the Baines. So just a lot of, new names that we don't normally see, but we're fortunate enough to have them out on this tennis court. And, the opportunity's there for all our Australian players to make the most of it. And I think it's an exciting time for Maddie and for Australian women's tennis as well.
It's one of those things that players are coming at it from different angles. Your players who just missed the cutoff for direct entry, players coming back from injury, young players coming in. It's a really interesting mix at this time of the year.
Yeah, well, I think the advantages that these players have this tournament is they're match conditioned, and then they go off and have a good, couple weeks of a training block, if not, if they haven't started already, and then they can really start 2016 off to a good start. And just the confidence, the actual little bit of match play, working on things, tweaking things here and there. So, and the weather conditions, perfect preparation.
Yeah, it certainly is. Early today, a win for James Duckworth. Ben Mitchell up in Brisbane, awaiting the birth of his first child. So we wish him well with that, but well done to James for getting through there. And we also had a big win here for Maddison Inglis, getting the job done in straight sets. John, been a great week on social media. There's been plenty happening.
We've been really impressed by your contributions. Thank you for getting involved on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram throughout the week. Hopefully we have your full engagement next year and involvement as well for the wildcard playoff for 2017.
And thank you for your work during the week too.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Fantastic. And thank you for your work, Bodge.
Thank you. It's been fun.
Head back home to WA for a while and then get ready for a big summer of tennis coming up.
Can't wait.
Been a big team behind the scenes who have put all of this together on behalf of Tennis Australia, and they've all done a great job. Thank you to everyone for all their work in putting this together. We always have fun over this week. We've been doing it for quite some time now, and we keep growing each and every year. So the news here, James Duckworth getting the men's wild card. The youngster, the 17-year-old Maddison Inglis, winning the women's wild card into the main draw, and there she is. She'll be looking forward to a big 2016. It'll all start on the 18th of January. Well, that's just about it from us here at Melbourne Park. It's been another big week. The site is prepared. We're ready to go. We're not too far away. All the action gets underway from January 18 back here for the Australian Open. But for now, have a safe, festive season, and we'll catch you again in the new year. Bye for now.